played a game yesterday, but that's not the story. The story is what happened pregame. Oh, today should be fun. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
This is Kincade and Salciunas.
When we grouse about a sweep for the Pirates, which you should be embarrassed by that.
Yeah.
You got to bring up the fact that the division-leading West, Dodgers, the division-leading Central, Cubs, you're 3-0 in series against those two teams.
That's why there's, to me, the misconception of, well, they can't beat any good teams. They only beat bad teams. They've played well against good teams, too.
We've seen something in the last few weeks that you guys have never seen. The erratic EKG nature of a baseball season.
Kincade and Salciunas. John Kincade, Andrew Salciunas.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
And a good Wednesday morning, Philadelphia. I'm Andrew Salciunas alongside my man, John Kincade. Johnny, good morning.
How are you? Another rainy day to work, so be careful out there on the roads.
Yeah, yesterday was peaceful.
Yeah, it was nice.
And then now we have Seattle weather again, like the next 3 days until, or 2 days. Friday's supposed to be hot.
And then we become Arizona in June.
Which, hey, you know what? I'd prefer that. At least I can do something.
99, 98.
Yeah. Well, I'd rather do 99 sunny than this constant rainy,
it's going to be wild. Just be careful.
With.
The Schuylkill was nasty this morning. It was a lot of
both ways.
A lot of weird water.
Yeah, so
be careful.
Be careful. All right. You know how you always compliment me about how I come in with the same attitude every single day?
You do. You are consistent, and consistency is like one of my number one thing on friends, family, and coworkers that I value. My core values, if I was Nick Sirianni, consistency is absolutely one of them.
That's good.
I do not like dealing with people who one day I have to go, what's wrong? How are you feeling? Like, I just like people who show up the same.
Now, one thing you also compliment me for is you've never heard me drop the I haven't had enough coffee yet or my coffee yet.
Yeah, you never, you handle yourself. You're a big boy.
Now, I've had the same amount of coffee to this point, 6:02, as I have done every single day since this show started. And this show started, let's see, how many shows ago?
326?
326 shows ago.
326.
I have a feeling if I added a Celsius, the rest of this coffee, and a bump of other extracurriculars, I don't think I'd have the energy to keep up with you today.
I don't think you're I think you're going to be surprised.
Okay.
Because I think a night's sleep, but more importantly, I think you'll be surprised just to hear when you hear me just present it as far as how I feel. I don't think you're going to be as I don't think you're going to find that at all.
So yesterday, obviously, the big story comes before the game itself when we found out that Nick Castellanos was not in the lineup because Rob Thompson made the decision to bench him after what is being considered comments that cross the line. So Nick Castellanos talked about it a little bit yesterday. He did not tell anybody exactly what was said, but he said that he said something when he was pulled for defensive purposes for Johan Rojas the other day. He spoke his mind, and Rob Thompson believed that he crossed the line. Nick Castellanos says, quote, "It's his decision. He's the manager." Here was Rob Thompson yesterday sort of explaining what happened during this altercation.
Well, last night, one of the many things about Nick that I love is that he's very emotional. He loves to play, and he loves to play every inning of every game. I just thought last night he made an inappropriate comment after he came out, and so today he's not going to play. And I'm going to leave it at that.
All right, so let's talk about this.
Yep.
He held a player, or a person, I should say, accountable for whatever the comments were made. We don't know what was said.
We do not. None of us know what was said.
It could have been as little as, I don't agree with you.
No.
Or it could have gone as far as die.
He crossed the line.
Clearly,
whatever was done, he crossed the line.
Especially for a guy like Rob Thompson, as we know, very calm, cool, collected. Sometimes we make jokes about lifeless and listless, right?
Jokes? I make observations that I've watched his players being in nose-to-nose arguments with umpires, and he just stares off into space.
So clearly, this comment must have been
over the line,
pretty far over the line for Rob Thompson to bench Nick Castellanos.
Yep.
Now, first and foremost, the decision to take him out for defensive purposes the other day, I'm fine with, even though I know Johan Rojas ended up batting, so you have to have that in the back of your mind. Like,
in a tight game.
This is something that I need to think about. What if his spot in the order comes back up? And maybe that's what Castellanos fought back on. Like, hey, I'm still going to bat at some point this game. Rojas, by the way, in his one at bat, 0 for 1. But he is the better fielder, right? Like that. Nobody's arguing that.
No one can argue that.
And then whatever Castellanos said clearly got him benched. So go ahead, John, because you were active on social media.
Well,
I got an email from you. I'm ready to hear it.
Well, right on the line. First off, Rob Thompson has every right to discipline a player if he feels that he was disrespected publicly in front of his team. So that's the bottom line. And overall, and I just want to start any conversation we have today right at that being the centerpiece, because there will be people who will spin it in any one direction. Overall, I think that opinion might be the one that trumps all others. Rob Thompson has the power to do what he did last night, and if he felt it was that important, he's got the ability to do that and the right to do it. I wonder, in my mind, whether that's the card you play at that time, and I'm going to call that into question in a variety of ways. But there's no question. If he feels he was disrespected publicly in front of his team, he has every right to do it. So there's no discussion of that.
Right.
And anyone who argues that, I think, is out of line.
Yeah,
even me, who is going to be very critical of Rob Thompson in a variety of ways about this, I can't be critical of that.
Right. One of the things I saw yesterday on social media, obviously, like the free Castellanos was hilarious. The guy that screams that in the ballpark.
And by
yesterday.
the way, it echoed twice when they did it.
because there's 18 people there.
It
right?
was hilarious. And by the way, you heard Tom and Crucker laugh.
Yeah, they brought it up.
They laughed.
Yeah, they laughed. So, but the other thing that I saw was like, oh, Topper's soft. We don't know. We don't know what was said. I don't understand how this is all of a sudden Rob Thompson's soft.
Okay, here's what I'm going to tell you. The point I'm going to make, because I don't want to unspill. I've got such a laundry list of things where I think
You sent a T-chart to me.
I did. I sent the T-chart of
very weighted one side.
But I want to start with the number one.
Okay.
I have worked for pro sports teams as an employee. I've worked for a coaching staff of a pro sports team, where I have been in the locker room, in the coach's office, traveled with the team, been on team charters, been embedded with a team. So I have firsthand knowledge of what that's like. 2 different occasions. And I've also covered a pro sports team as an employee, where I've been a media member covering a sports team as a media member, like a Tom McCarthy type, John Kruk type.
Yeah.
So I've got a lot of experience of watching this. I have seen this happen personally multiple times. I last night came up with a list, and I had had a handful of times that I know where I saw a player disrespect a coach verbally to the coach with other players around, where the coach and the player got into it quite vigorously.
Yeah.
We had Rick Tocchet on the show last week. Rick Tocchet could tell you from personal experience, because I believe the statute of limitations has run out. I saw Mike Keenan when I worked for the Flyers. I saw Mike Keenan get into FU fights.
Yeah.
With players, where players FU'd him, he FU'd them, they went at it, and I'm talking 5, 10, 20 players to witness it all. I never once saw a player benched because of it. I saw players call him every name in the book. And I saw Mike come back with a few names of his own. And Mike was a terrorist at times. A terrorist, as far as his behavior stepped over the line. I never once saw a player benched because of it.
Yeah, but if his energy is that, if he also can fight back.
No. That's a point, and you're
Right?
you're very valid. You are 100% valid.
I don't think Rob Thompson has ever probably said a disrespectful thing to one of his players.
He's Canadian. He would never.
Yeah.
You are what? Well, so's Mike. Yeah, it's same thing.
that. You got me, Kincade.
You are 100% valid in that retort.
Right.
But I also then saw it. I saw it in a Hall of Fame baseball manager in Atlanta. I've seen it in others.
Right.
And I've never seen a player benched because of it.
Okay, well, I have something to say. Speaking of statute,
You got a lot to say?
Statute of limitations.
Good.
About this workplace.
Oh, I like this.
All right. So
Go for it.
I'll give you that coming up next. And I need to know something from you, John. What do you want from Rob Thompson? It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Ricky Bo, Bill Colarulo.
Egos anytime.
Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue.
A lot of the Castellanos bench talk will be the majority of the show today. and we sort of talked about the people that were calling Rob Thompson soft. And you told stories that there were times where you saw beefs between player and coach,
I
and
saw
the player was not benched.
Volatile, like FU fights.
Yeah.
And in front of players always initiating it. Now, as I told you with Mike, with Keenan, he was a guy that pushed buttons.
Right.
And he was going to push your buttons.
You've told me stories
yes,
that will remain off air where I go, yeah, maybe he did have something coming his way.
Yeah, he pushed buttons. Yes.
In terms of an outburst from a player.
And he felt that was a way that he could push somebody to get the best out of them. By the way, he did.
Right.
He did.
Absolutely.
But that also led to the short shelf life.
Right, exactly.
But I also saw a Hall of Fame manager in Bobby Cox with players.
Right.
That wouldn't tolerate things or whatever. That there were things that was within certain managers and coaches I watched that they allowed discourse.
Yeah.
They allowed you to dog cuss them. And they would dog cuss you right back. And if the media ever let it out, that media member would never have access again.
Right.
So that's a little bit of that background.
So my thing is, I don't think Topper's ever had an outburst. So maybe it's I show you that respect, show the same respect to me.
That's a great point you made.
And if Castellanos went over the line, again, clearly for Rob Thompson to move, he clearly must have gone over the line.
I think he absolutely had to have gone over a line.
So years ago, we had a boss here, and he was somebody that would yell and scream a lot.
I remember that guy.
And
I didn't work here, but I remember him.
He would yell at you, yell at you, yell at you, yell at you. And then one day, somebody yelled back, and it was, "Don't you dare yell at me." And it's like, well, hold on a second, dude. How come you can yell and scream at us all the time, but the second somebody pushes back, you have a problem with it? So if Rob Thompson was somebody that yelled all the time, and then Nick Castellanos pushed back one time, and that led to him getting benched, okay, Rob Thompson's soft. He can dish it but can't take it. But I don't think that's the case here.
That is completely logical and completely fair. What you just said is completely logical and completely fair. If somebody mirrors a level of respect to coworkers,
Right.
and then or someone mirrors a completely level of disrespect to coworkers, if they get disrespect back to them at some point, I'll be damned if I'm going to lift a finger or it be in any way offended if somebody claps back at them at some point out of frustration.
Yeah.
When they act like that.
It's like Haley yells at us every day.
Haley tends to get very angry.
She yells
with
at me
us.
to stare at the camera when I make a point because
she says, "John,
that's better
take
for
the glasses
engagement."
off when you're making a point."
But if I yelled back at Haley and she went to HR, then I'd be like,
Right.
"Whoa, hold on a second! You yell at me every single day, just like how Connor
Haley-
yells at us every single day."
Haley really doesn't.
I've
yell
never
at me.
raised my voice to you guys once.
Connor is very. I think it's one of the reasons we have a harmonious family here.
Yes, absolutely.
Is with this show
on
is
the
that
same
we
page.
sort of mirror, but we all sort of mirror each other's. When we ask people, we say thank you.
Good balance here.
But I think that I notice things
There's a level of respect
that like
all around.
we say thank you. Like when Gunnar brings something into the room, I notice that I always try to say thank you. Like,
Yeah.
Connor, you bring something in the room. Andrew will say thank you.
Thank you.
Never said thank you to me.
We say thank you to each other. We're there's
Not much to thank.
So I give you that point, but my point is just in a sports atmosphere, it's something that I've seen in pro sports many times. And more importantly, here's the next point I want to make on this. No one knew about this. Nobody.
Yeah.
No media member knew about it. Nobody had reported on it.
Well,
No camera witnessed it.
to me, that's a good clubhouse
Okay, no.
if it was in the locker room.
Well, that is.
Or not in the locker room, in the dugout.
Well,
'Cause I'm
what?
guessing it was in the dugout, right? Because
Yes.
it happened immediately.
And nobody reported it. Nobody witnessed it. It wasn't on camera. Nobody saw it.
But did a player?
But no, I'm sure that happened.
And was it aimed at a player?
But nobody had to. It did not have to become public.
Which to me, that's a good clubhouse. That
No.
they kept it in house.
Well, they didn't keep it in house because Rob made it public. It could have been something that could have been handled behind the scenes that never was made to embarrass Nick Castellanos, never made to shame Nick Castellanos, never made to make a public example of him.
All right, well, then let's talk about this coming up next because I don't know how you could get around how it was handled yesterday.
Okay.
So we'll talk about this coming up next. Also, we'll actually react to the game.
Sure.
The Phillies played. They lost. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Castellanos benched. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies lost to the Marlins 8-3 last night down in Miami. The bullpen gave up 4 runs over 3 innings. But obviously, that's not the big story from yesterday in Phillies news. Nick Castellanos sat last night after making what Rob Thompson said was an inappropriate comment when being taken out of Monday night's game. Here was Thompson pregame on his decision.
One of the many things about Nick that I love is that he's very emotional. He loves to play, and he loves to play every inning of every game. I just thought last night he made an inappropriate comment after he came out, and so today he's not going to play.
We don't yet have full details on the nature of the comment, but it didn't help the situation that Max Kepler, who played right field, had a rough misplay in the game. The Phils will be back in action tonight at 6:40 against the Marlins. Ranger Suarez on the mound versus Adam Mazur. The Florida Panthers have completed the repeat. They won the Stanley Cup last night for the second straight year over the Oilers. Second straight matchup between those two down in Florida. The Thunder will see tomorrow night if they can win a championship of their own over the Pacers, a closeout game in the NBA Finals. Adam Schefter, ESPN NFL Insider, will join us coming up at 7:55. This update's brought to you by Groundworks, your expert for basement waterproofing and foundation repair since 1997. Book your free inspection at groundworks.com. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the NBA Finals in Philadelphia, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom. freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, walking on the sand, no care, surfing in the sun, so free, just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, walking on the sand, no care, surfing in the sun, so free, just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah.
We'll continue this Castellanos thing here in a minute, but the Phillies did play yesterday.
Did they?
Yeah, they lost 8-3 to the Marlins. Luzardo, not his dazzling stuff, but enough to get through.
You're very kind.
Enough to get through 5 innings and then to pitch into the 6th, but then could not record an out. First 2 batters get on base. Then Tanner Banks was a disaster. Joe Ross is a disaster. Michael Mercado, he's one of these guys that I don't understand how he can still be on their 40-man roster, because every time he gets called up and every time he pitches, he gives up runs. Like, I'd rather you try somebody else. Like, this is a guy that I don't understand how has a big league resume at this point, considering every time he pitches, something happens. Like, I'd rather
something happens terrible.
Yeah, I'd rather Weston Wilson than Michael Mercado at this point. With all due respect to Michael Mercado, he's a young guy, and but whatever. I've seen him pitch too many times where he's just hittable, right? Not unhittable. He is hittable. But the Phillies lose 8-3 yesterday. Good for the Phillies. The Mets blow a late lead to the Braves yesterday.
That was nice.
So they didn't lose any
I woke
ground
up
in the
to
National
that
League
this
East.
morning.
Yeah, I did too. I didn't know until you told me this
I didn't know it, and so.
Yeah, just call yesterday a wash.
And-
Phillies had a rough game.
And here's what I ask you just about last night's Phillies loss, and it's something that I will share with John Crucker from the broadcast last night. So last night we asked about, well, what's the big deal about what they did Monday night? Okay, what they did with the bullpen Monday night, taking out Abel, and how they used the bullpen Monday night. They 2 of the relievers, Rob said he wasn't going to use last night.
Okay.
So he wasn't going to use Strom and he wasn't going to use Romano last night. So they were off the board. He used Banks, Ross, and Mercado last night. Banks, Ross, and Mercado, in a game where you had the lead, were all worse than the 4 options you used on Monday night.
Well, you
Yeah,
had the
but-
lead until Tanner Banks came in, and just because.
No, but you had the lead. Let me just. You used Walker, Romano, Strom, and Kerkering, who are 4 better options on Monday night than you used any of the options you used that you had at your disposal last
Yeah,
night.
but that early in the game yesterday, you probably were going to use a guy
It
like
was
Tanner Banks anyway.
It was as early as Monday night.
Where you threw Taijuan Walker.
It was as early, and Walker's a better option than Banks, Ross, and Mercado.
In that situation, maybe they wanted to go with the left-handed arm, so they went with Tanner Banks. I mean,
I get you. I'm just saying to you, but they're not worried about. They've already said they're not worried about lefty-righty with Walker.
Okay.
They're worried about Walker. They have no concern. Rob's already said that.
But-
He has no concern about saying who's coming up lefty-righty. At that point, they will use Walker either way at that
got
point.
it. I
And hopefully
understand
can
that
get to him.
decisions can avalanche, but all right, let's say Abel does pitch the 6th inning. They were still going to use 3 arms
But one of those arms could have potentially been available last night
that
to
they
use
may
in a
have needed
situation
in
that could
the
have bridged.
7th inning or
Yeah, it
the
could have
8th inning.
could have
Like,
kept you from.
I don't believe that Monday's decision had something to do with Tanner Banks yesterday.
Wow.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't
think-
either.
Well,
Tanner Banks could have pitched in the 7th inning yesterday.
I think
and it
Tanner
could have been
Banks.
bad.
I think Tanner Banks is the one who maybe doesn't go last night.
So Joe Ross
he's the,
went.
maybe the,
Yippee.
no, he's the one who
Michael
maybe
Mercado went.
He's the one who
Yippee.
he's the one who maybe doesn't go at that.
Yeah,
point.
but if any of those guys go last night, you still lose that
They
game.
all gave up runs. They all stink.
Right,
They
so
all-
you get
Like
one more clean inning.
they're all bad. And this goes back to Dave Dombrowski and the decision with McAble. There may be they may have a pitch limit or an innings limit, which we read from the Corey Seidman report yesterday. That is part of the plan.
4 better options went Monday night.
Yeah, lesser starting pitcher. You take game 1 of the series. You think Luzardo can give you better. He doesn't. And then you're kind of hung out to dry. That's baseball.
Yeah.
Well, they are.
Connor's point. That's baseball. I mean that it sucked. It avalanched yesterday.
Yeah, it did.
Because the bullpen sucks because of Dave Dombrowski.
It
ultimately.
did. It was bad.
I don't believe that's a Topper thing. I think that's ultimately Dave Dombrowski. All right, now speaking of Topper, because we're talking about this Castellanos thing.
Yes.
So you think it could have been handled differently? I don't.
Okay.
And the reason why is because of this streak. What was it, 236 games?
Uh-huh.
If Nick Castellanos just didn't play yesterday, everybody would be trying to figure out why. And if it's not injury, and clearly at this point it's not just, we thought it would be best for him to have a day off, right? Because
In Miami, in front of his family, with all of his, I think, what did they say, 38 tickets or something bought?
right. So I think we would all start, not assuming, but we would all start wondering, all right, why is he not playing today? There must be something to it. And so Rob Thompson just gets ahead of it, says, hey, I like Nick. Sometimes he's emotional. That's one of the things I love about him. We've played the clip earlier on, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay, what I would
The fact that I think he got in front of it is probably the best thing he could have done.
No, what I would just say is it doesn't have to lead to a suspension. It doesn't have to lead to a benching. I've seen it firsthand myself, and I've seen it from a distance in sports. It doesn't have to lead to a benching.
That's in no way our call to make from where we're at. That's the
We don't know-
manager's
yeah,
call.
we-
Oh, no,
and
it is.
we don't know what was said.
I love that. He can do whatever he wants. I made that point right off the bat.
So what's the beef?
He can do, because I have seen firsthand coaches, Hall of Fame managers that have chosen to go, okay, I'll take some abuse and I'll give a little
How do
abuse
we
back
know?
and we'll move on, and it's not going to lead to a benching.
How do we know this wasn't the third time?
And it could have been. Absolutely could
Right,
have been.
you've done the 3 strikes rule with Liv, I imagine.
Could have been.
That's,
Now, we
strike,
don't-
that's strike 2.
Yeah.
Right? Like-
could have been. Now that now we're getting into mythology that we don't know. What
Yeah,
we
but
do
you're
know
doing
is-
the mythology of, I've seen this
what I'm
happen
doing-
before.
No, that's not mythology. That's fact.
Okay, but the way Rob Thompson acts isn't the same way Bobby Cox acts.
No, but what I'm giving to you is I'm giving you fact. What I'm giving is
Based
I've
off of
seen
a
it-
person,
I've
that's
seen-
different
right.
than who
No,
Rob Thompson is.
No, I understand, and Rob Thompson has the right. I'm not arguing that with you. He's got the right to do it. I don't think you have to exercise the right. You got the right to do whatever you want, but why you need to do it? You don't have to do it. You don't have to bench him, because what I've seen is a manager who literally allows a lot of things to go. I've seen managers like our own. I'll make a comparison to a guy that locally here is a beloved manager.
Okay.
A Charlie Manuel. I've seen Charlie Manuel hold players accountable in the middle of games for their poor performance, for their lack of hustle, for their attitude. And I see this manager stare off into space and allow that to happen night after night after night and never make a move.
I don't see lack of hustle being a problem. It's stupid.
Really?
It's stupid base running.
I see a lot of lack of hustle. I see guys not running out ground balls all the time. All the time, and I think our listeners do too.
Well, yeah,
they pointed out to us often.
The Harper thing.
And I
I'd
see
point
one
out.
guy, and I see one guy who, if there's one guy I can count on to always run out every single ground ball and to hustle every time, it's Nick Castellanos. If there's one thing, no one's ever going to question his hustle.
Sure, but this isn't hustle. This is different.
I got you.
It's just.
But he doesn't have to. You don't have to. It doesn't have to lead to a suspension, which is a.
But what if it
which
did?
is- No,
Like,
no,
we don't. We
No,
don't
it did.
know.
No, it did.
Okay, in this
it did.
mythological world, you could say it didn't have to, but we don't know.
No, he chose to do that.
Right, and we don't know the
not,
input that
it's
led
not
to that choice.
But it's not mythological that it didn't happen.
All right, so Connor was, you were like about to say something a couple segments ago that what if it was directed to a player?
Yeah, like it may not have been a Thompson. We don't know what these. What if like someone's getting put in defensively for Castellanos, and he in the dugout says, "That's ridiculous. That guy stinks compared to me." Like, what do you do then? He plays the next day, like
that stuff like that all the time. Players calling out players happens all the time.
Saying don't play this guy over. Don't play that guy over me.
Players getting on each other's crap, especially in baseball over 162, happens all the time. It's one of the
What
reasons.
Connor is saying is if the defensive replacement was Johan Rojas, right?
Okay.
What if Castellanos goes, dude? Don't put this guy in over me. He can't hit my spot in the order's coming up.
Okay, but now we're making up conversations that we didn't even have.
Exactly. But we don't know what happened.
But the thing is that what we do know happened is Rob Thompson heard something he didn't like.
Correct.
And decided to suspend it. Decided it was worthy of a suspension. Rob Thompson watches a lot of stuff that he just goes, not important, not important, not important.
And he believes whether this goes back to what you want from a manager or what you want from Rob Thompson.
Sure,
which I want I want your answer on that coming up next. What you, John Kincade, want from Rob Thompson. Maybe this is something that he does care about,
like on his list of priorities.
Right?
Okay, sure.
And ultimately he's the manager of the team. And to your point,
and I said it's his right.
He has every opportunity to do whatever he wants.
He has every right. Look, he has every right to do whatever he wants. We could start every day's show talking about the union and hockey.
Yes.
We have every right to do it. And then Scott has every right to say, I don't like it.
Yeah, he's every right to just take us off the air. All right, we'll check our text messages coming up. And I need to know what John Kincade wants from Rob Thompson, because your T-chart that you sent me is very weighted on one side.
It is.
So I need to know, what the heck do you want out of this guy? It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Ricky Bo, Bill Colarulo,
Aaron Nola. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, walking on the sand, no care, surfing in the sun, so free, just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, walking on the sand, no care.
I like a good nickname thrown my way. I've gotten a couple of good ones over the years here working at this station. Like Andrew Salciunas. Somebody
Oh,
called,
I like that one.
Somebody called me once. My favorite by far was Sal Doofus. Like
Yeah, that's top tier.
Like that is the bet. Like if you disagree with my point and you call me Sal Doofus, all right, I like it. I just got one on YouTube.
What?
Kensington Andrew.
What?
That one makes no sense to me.
Kensington Andrew?
Yeah. I'm trying to figure that one out.
You're about as non-Kensington as I can. I don't know.
I just that one confused. Like if you're gonna come after me,
Like Brendan's Delco.
yeah,
Brendan is Delco.
damn right he is. If you're gonna come after me, at least like have some creativity or make it make sense. Because that one I don't.
That one
understand.
didn't hit.
No, it didn't.
All right, I'll workshop some good nicknames
Please,
for you.
I like.
I'll
it.
get
Look,
back to
I
you.
like. You know what? YouTube. Oh my god. Whoever used this mic last just destroyed it.
It's the Mike Mangler.
YouTube. If you want to come up with some more good nicknames for me, go ahead. Sal Doofus's number. No, I'm for it. Come on, man. I'm
Well, the one thing is
Okay.
that
I don't care. What is anybody
This
gonna say?
Inappropriate
This is-
comments. YouTube sitting tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. YouTube will be benched. I'm all for fun nicknames, but I just Kensington Andrew makes no sense to me.
Yes.
All right. Let's check our text line.
Sure.
And then I need to know what you want from Rob Thompson. But what do we got on the text line in response to the decision to bench Nick Castellanos yesterday for the inappropriate comments over the line comments according to Rob Thompson? We do not know what was said at all. 610-632-0975 is the number to check in.
Zach from Florida leads us off, and he says, my issue is his guys are getting hosed at the plate with bad calls, and he does nothing but gets his feelings hurt and benches a starting player and subjects me to a lineup with Marsh and Rojas at the same time. Nick better have said something absolutely foul to end a starting streak and try to line up out with those two guys in at the same time.
So I'm going to guess. Again, we don't know what was said.
We do not.
We
None of
make
us
that,
do.
We have to make that very clear. Jokes aside, we joke about how Rob Thompson, a lot of things doesn't seem to get him flustered. So clearly, it must have been said. Rob Thompson has also gone out of his way to keep Castellanos in the lineup, right? I mean, you've pointed out that you
we
think
just talked about this
on post-show
last week
headlines.
on post-show headlines that I think that streak was absolute. To Nick, it meant something. To Rob, it meant something. To me, it meant nothing.
Right.
It means nothing.
And like to the point where he played him as a DH the other day, which I was fine with, right? Like,
Right.
let's keep him in the lineup. Let's keep his
Right.
game streak going. His bat's important for the
Yeah.
lineup. So Rob Thompson has gone, I believe, out of his way to keep him in the lineup since 2023. So clearly, again, this must have been something
He
where
knew
Rob
this was
Thompson said
really
this was out of the
important to
line.
him.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. What do I want out of him?
Yes.
That first texter that Connor just read there is exactly what I've said. I am consistent with my energy on Rob Thompson from the beginning. I want the man to have a pulse. I want him to be paying attention during games and to actually not have Kyle Schwarber to have to go up against umpires one-on-one. JT Real Muto to have to go up against umpires one-on-one. I do not want to see players. I always want players to be defended by their manager. And the manager, and I am not joking, I'm not spinning, where that's going on and the manager is staring. And they put the camera on him and he's staring off into space and not reacting. I want a manager that is engaged. And more importantly, I want a manager that has shown me that if you're going to care about that, whatever caused this to become public, which, by the way, none of us knew about. So it didn't have to become public. This could have been a non-story. This could have been something we never knew about. But all the stuff we do know about that he never cares about, like not hustling, which many managers in baseball, including ones that we have seen trotted through this town, including the ones that have delivered us world championships, would never have tolerated. From their star player, Jimmy Rollins, or their last guy on the bench. Would have they ever tolerated half-assing it down a first baseline? Rob Thompson, it's excusable. And it just goes. A player does unexcusable things on the base paths. By the way, Castellanos did that just last week, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're trying to stretch the single and
after the game. Does Rob call it out? Nope. We have to be better.
See, no, but he
never ever holds players accountable.
But this is where I will respond and say, okay, so he did say something publicly yesterday, and now you're upset that he said something publicly.
Okay, so after 3 years, he decides to go public about something that we didn't even know about, and I'm supposed to go, now he's doing something.
If he's not in the lineup yesterday.
No, he didn't have to be out of the lineup, though, is what I'm saying to you.
Well, he made the decision to not have him in the lineup. So if he keeps him out of the lineup, you know he's going to be asked, why is Nick Castellanos not in the lineup today? He could have lied and said, we just wanted to give him the day off. And then if Castellanos is asked about it, by the way, Castellanos said it first, right? If we're doing the chronological order,
did say it first because
he spoke before Topper.
Well, he had to because he knew that it was going to be public that he was out of the lineup.
Right, so if Castellanos says, I'm just out of the lineup today,
right,
and then Rob Thompson's asked about it, we just want to give him a day off, that's different. But the fact that Castellanos said, I went over the line, and I think even though he may have been upset about it, he didn't run and hide from it.
No, Castellanos was a gentleman about it.
And so was Rob Thompson.
The idea, though, again, this didn't have to become a public issue.
Wait, okay, so let's do this then. What other punishment would you have rather had for Nick Castellanos?
I don't think that, Connor, if a guy like Rob Thompson ignores for 3 years all the lackadaisical play and the lack of hustle.
But this wasn't lackadaisical play and lack of hustle.
I understand that. I didn't even get my thought out. Please let me get the thought out. If he ignores the stuff that we see constantly, and there's never a benching for it, and there's never ramifications for it, and he never calls it out publicly, I don't think this had to be called out publicly and made a public example of either. That is the point.
But that didn't answer Connor's question.
Yeah, not remotely.
Okay, go on. What did I not answer?
What do you want him to do? So
I don't want him to make it a public issue.
Okay, then how does he not do that?
He doesn't have to make it. He can behind closed doors.
You've got to give me another option. You can't just keep repeating the same thing.
I'm telling you right there. He doesn't have to make it a public thing. He can say to Nick,
worthy of a benching.
No, you can say to Nick.
And so he benched him. How else would you go about it?
All of a sudden, he thinks this is worthy of a benching.
Yes.
After all the things that this man has ignored for 3 years of his tenure, this thing is the thing he decides to go nuclear over.
Yes, he did. So you don't have an answer as to what you would rather have him do.
No, what I'm saying is that this is where I would say to him, Rob, take a breath. Behind closed doors, you and Nick have it out, and you say, Nick, this is completely unacceptable behavior. This should never happen again. I don't want to ever see this happening again. Nobody knows about it outside of our team. Let's keep it that way. But it's unacceptable.
We don't know. This could have been a second or third time. Like we don't.
And that's the thing. We don't know. But again, what is that? If he would say it was a multiple time offense, neither guy said anything of the sort.
Right, because maybe they wanted to keep that.
No, they both laid out that it was something that happened the night before.
The only stuff that you won't go to is the stuff that doesn't align with your point. I don't know how we have this argument.
I don't know what I'm not going to.
All right. I have more on this that we'll get to coming up next. And oh, by the way, there was something in the broadcast yesterday that you told me about this morning. I missed this yesterday.
Yes.
About Jesus Luzardo.
And John Kruk seemed puzzled.
Oh, I caught this too.
All right, we'll get to this coming up next as well. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Inappropriate comments from Casty. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies lost to the Marlins 8-3 last night down in Miami. The bullpen gave up 4 runs over 3 innings. Yeah, they were rough, but obviously that's not the big story from yesterday in Phillies news. Nick Castellanos was out of the lineup last night after making what Rob Thompson said was an inappropriate comment when being taken out of Monday night's game for a defensive replacement. Here was Rob Thompson pregame on his decision to sit Castellanos.
One of the many things about Nick that I love is that he's very emotional. He loves to play, and he loves to play every inning of every game. I just thought last night he made an inappropriate comment after he came out, and so today he's not going to play.
Now, of course, as fate would have it, Max Kepler, who played right field instead, had a rough misplay in the game, which is going to exacerbate the situation. But the Phils, they're right back at it tonight. They'll play the Marlins again at 6:40. Ranger Suarez faces off against Adam Mazur. The Florida Panthers have completed the repeat. They won the Stanley Cup last night over the Oilers down in Florida as the NHL season comes to an end. We'll see if the NBA season follows suit. The Thunder play the Pacers tomorrow night with a chance to close it out. OKC could win their first championship. Adam Schefter of ESPN will join us coming up at 7:55. This update's brought to you by the local Rheem Pro partners at thereemteam.com. When you want your home to feel like a dream, it has to be Rheem. Stay cool with a high-efficiency AC system from Rheem. RHEEM. Find your Rheem Pro partner at thereemteam.com. I'm Connor Thomas on the home for the NBA Finals in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Vacation, business trip.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, walking on the sand, no care, surfing in the sun, so free, just the beach, the waves and me.
Salciunas 97.5, The Fanatic. So I got a tweet from Patrick Flynn, and this kind of goes to something that you keep on saying, but like it's not, I think, necessarily the point of yesterday. Patrick Flynn says Bryson Stott's been batting 188 since May 1st, but Topper holds players accountable? Okay.
Well, I don't know. A player hitting doesn't mean anything. Players not doing the right thing during games, though,
Right.
and very publicly, and just skating by and not being held accountable, that matters. A guy not playing well is not playing well.
So
Joe Ross, do you want Topper to
I don't
pick
think
something over for that?
Joe Ross should be on this baseball team.
Right.
Like
That's not
six,
Topper's
like
fault
six
or-
other
yeah.
guys in the bullpen.
Like, I mean, look,
Like they
look,
stink.
and two, and another thing is whatever disagreement we have on this, Rob Thompson does a lot of things right. I always say it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I love that Rob Thompson does.
So
There's things that I don't.
you are a father
I am.
of a wonderful child. You did a great job raising her.
She's an adult woman now.
But I imagine, so this is how I'm going to get to this Rob Thompson thing. When she was growing up, I imagine you had like certain things where you would let slide, but there were certain things where you said, if you do this, it's like an automatic either timeout or grounding. Well, I don't know how you, parented Liv in her teenage years or preteens, but I imagine there were certain rules, and you and I have had this conversation before, like drinking and driving and that
Sure.
kind of stuff. Like I know that's life and not baseball, but there were certain things where, like, if I did certain things, there was no argument.
She knew that if there was ever, like, for instance, she knew the rule was she got her driver's license. If at any time there was ever, she had a car in the family purveyance
Yes.
where she was out and any incident with alcohol was involved. She was drinking, she was whatever. And she it doesn't even have to be in the car.
Yeah.
It has to be, she was at whatever. She'd never drive a family car again.
And that's boom.
And she was off
that
on it.
rule is
there was
set
no
in stone.
and there was no negotiation.
Yeah.
She'd be off it because she had family Uber.
Right.
And so she always knew family Uber's there. You don't have to drive.
Yeah.
So if you ever violate that, it's done.
My parents had a strict 11 p.m. curfew. Very
Okay.
strict. And one day I came home at 2 a.m.
Just missed it.
Did you meet Dad at the front door?
The lights were on when I came
Oh,
in.
boy.
When I turned down my street and I saw the lights in the house, I pooped myself.
I bet.
And I was in a lot of trouble. And that's and it didn't help that I was in a dead area where there was no service.
Oh boy.
And so like I couldn't even come in contact with them. And then I saw all the missed calls once I got to a area where, and so that was one of the non-negotiables.
Right.
We don't know because this is,
Well, this was a non-negotiable for Rob. Can we assume that?
yeah. And so if
This
that's
looks like
the
a non-negotiable.
case, and maybe not hustling out a ball is something where
It's excusable.
it's excusable, whether you like that or not, and that's fine. I don't like it when Bryce Harper doesn't bust it down the line, right?
Right.
Oh, well, he hustles other times. Yeah, stupidity sometimes. Like sometimes he makes stupid hustle plays and gets thrown out at second base. But if this is something where Rob Thompson has maybe addressed it in the past, either with Castellanos or maybe the preseason meeting in spring training, these are my rules that I follow. Don't do this, don't do that. Non-negotiables. Maybe this was a non-negotiable, and that's why he was benched.
Could be. No argument with you there. If that is the scenario that what I was presented with, then there's no argument there. This became very public. This became very embarrassing to Nick Castellanos. I would imagine that Nick Castellanos is saying to himself, "Wow, how I present myself on a daily basis, how I come to work on a daily basis, and what slides here is interesting." I would imagine he's taking note of that. And what is allowed to slide, what is allowed to never be called out, what is allowed to be accepted as okay, probably is annoying the hell out of him today. I would imagine.
Unless he knows that he's also in the wrong.
Oh, he knows he's in the wrong. He accepted that he was in the wrong.
Yeah.
He already accepted it. And there's no question he was in the wrong. I don't believe Rob Thompson's a jackass.
Like, this isn't-
I don't think Rob Thompson's the kind of guy that would do something if it wasn't warranted. If Nick Castellanos cussed out Rob Thompson or said something vile to him, then Nick Castellanos did cross a line.
Yeah.
But Rob Thompson's response doesn't have to be a benching. Because I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand, personally, in pro sports, managers, coaches. I've witnessed it behind closed doors. I've witnessed it publicly. I've witnessed it at public practices where media was at. And it did not lead to benchings. So it's how each person chooses to handle it. Rob chose to handle it his way. I've seen others choose to handle it as they'll just handle it as blowing off steam or whatever.
If this was, I'm gonna tie this into another team in town.
Okay.
And we just talked about this yesterday. Actually, you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. Remember, we just talked about this yesterday.
What was that?
Jalen Carter having his outburst against the Saints.
Yep.
And then literally 3 weeks later, after Nick Sirianni called out Jalen Carter, because he did publicly.
He did publicly.
Nick Sirianni then had his mental breakdown yelling at fans. If I'm Jalen Carter, I'm taking note of that.
Yes. And because
I don't know. I don't. Maybe Castellanos knows that he was in the wrong, and Rob Thompson's not going to conduct himself in a certain way.
Now, wait a minute, though. We know for a fact that Nick Castellanos holds himself accountable for the bet because he acknowledged it.
Yeah.
He acknowledged that there was an incident. He acknowledged it publicly. He acknowledged that he did things.
Yeah, but you're saying he might take note of how things are being
but
run
I absolutely guarantee it. For a guy who hustles every single play, every single at bat, I promise you 100% that Nick Castellanos has already noticed that his entire career, because it's important to Nick Castellanos to present himself as a professional baseball player a certain way, and I guarantee you, he notices that this guy dogs it.
Now, when he
wants to.
When he gets thrown out at second, he doesn't come out and say, yeah, bad base running decision. I can't do that.
Now, you see, he absolutely did. See, that's where it's incorrect. He absolutely, walking back before he even got to the dugout, he was doing the chest pump, and then he went back into the dugout, and when they showed him in the dugout, he was when he got back into the dugout, he was tapping his chest, and he was walking over and talking to Kevin Long, and he was talking to his manager.
Wait, so that's all you want? Because what you've wanted in the past was Rob Thompson to publicly call them out for it.
Yes, I think I think absolutely they should. I think it should be, we have to learn to run the bases. We have to learn that we are constantly running into outs. We do stupid things on the base paths as a baseball team, and we cannot do this. But instead, it's never that. And so after 3 years, what I look at it as, it was 0 to 60 yesterday. It was the substitute teacher mentality of everything's going to be let go. Everything's going to be let go. I'm never taking a public stand. I'm never calling anybody out. And you don't have to abuse players to call things out publicly. People make it out like you have to embarrass a player. You don't have to. Charlie Manuel had great. Jimmy Rollins, I know Alumni Weekend will come up.
Yes.
Jimmy Rollins tells the story every year about him and Charlie and how they used to butt heads. And they didn't just butt heads once.
Right.
They butted heads a lot. And he tells the stories about it. How Charlie was holding him accountable and teaching him how to be a professional, and there were times he didn't want to hear the message. And Jimmy tells the stories. And but Charlie wasn't going to let his star player not run out ground balls and not do things without it being known, because he knows the public watches the games. And he knows that if Jimmy Rollins doesn't do it, that the last guy on the bench is not going to do it. Because he's going to go, well, if Jimmy Rollins doesn't do it, then I guess I don't have to do it. So the thing is that I do want a public, but it doesn't have to be that bum. He didn't run it out tonight. I want you people to know. It can be done very respectfully and go, we have a bunch of great baseball players in this franchise, but I'm really upset tonight. And I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
Tired of the bad base running. I'm tired of it.
Where I just get lost on this is you've been talking about Rob Thompson not having a pulse for months now.
Oh, years.
Okay, we'll go years now.
Go years.
And he does something yesterday. He makes an impactful move that will impact the clubhouse, impacts the team. He does something that is out of the characteristics of what we've seen from Rob Thompson, that is more in line, at least from my perception, on what you want him to be like as a manager. And it feels like you're slapping him on the hand for it.
I'm just telling you is that, first off, I think when you don't acknowledge the stuff that's public, when you literally go stare off into space, don't do the things a manager does to defend their players publicly in games, when you just stare there, even when the team broadcasters are like, boy, Rob's just looking out. National broadcasters. Boy, Rob Thompson's, wonder what he's looking at there. What's he doing? They literally call it out. And you don't call out lackadaisical play, lack of hustle, and things like that. Why are you calling out stuff that is not public? That is something that I would question.
Well, again, it was called.
It must have been egregious to him.
But again, I like the whole calling out thing. You're saying calling out to the point where he got benched, not even words that were spoken. But again, he got benched because he crossed a line that Rob Thompson has that Nick Castellanos said,
and he acknowledges it. And he acknowledges it.
And it's public because A, Nick Castellanos first said it, and B, even if Castellanos kept his mouth shut, everyone would wonder why is Castellanos not in the lineup today. And so Rob Thompson will play.
I'm sure Nick knew that it was going to be made public.
Right, but let's live in a world where Nick doesn't play and they come out and they say, we can't tell you, or they make something up.
Well, they wouldn't do that.
Well, you'd be pissed because the same thing with the Harper, they're not telling us enough. You would want more information.
Yeah. So
this is a different situation than an injury.
We'll play the Rob Thompson audio again because I think he went about it probably the best way he possibly could. So we'll play that for you coming up next. Also, this Luzardo thing we got to get to. John and Connor both caught something on the broadcast. I did not, and it just makes you wonder. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Philadelphia Union Soccer.
William Piper along the right over the plate. A whip to swallow! Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah.
7:12 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Before we get to this Luzardo thing, I want to get another text message in. So give us a text, Connor. Obviously, we're reacting to the decision to bench Nick Castellanos yesterday. And I want to get to a call. I'll get to the call first because I'll let Gary do the talking. Gary, you're on The Fanatic. What's up, dude?
What's up, Gary?
How you doing? How you doing?
Good, man.
I just want to first say I'm a lifelong Phillies fan. I remember when I was 10 years old in '68, going to Connie Mack Stadium because Richie Allen was my favorite player. And my daughters found this out and actually got me a Richie Allen jersey for Father's Day.
Oh, that is fantastic.
That's so cool, Gary.
So, but I still go to a lot of games, and my partners will tell you, my boys will tell you, Alec Boehm is my favorite young Philly. Well, he's not that young anymore.
Right.
My favorite young Philly player. But he's a spoiled brat and gets away with throwing his helmet, gets away with throwing his bat, gets away with all this. And Charlie, and not Charlie as you were, I apologize,
Papa.
Charlie. And this guy doesn't say anything.
Well, in the
Right.
playoffs last year, he's
Wait a minute.
No, wait a minute. The playoffs
minute.
last year, in the playoffs last year, he benched him, so he did say something.
Right.
Yeah, okay. And he started the same stuff this year and nothing happened. Bryce Harper barely runs it out if it's not a home run or a double. He won't even run the first, and nothing's ever said.
Well-
So they won't tell us exactly what Castellanos said, but apparently he hurt his feelings. Here's my view of Rob Thompson. Did y'all see A Few Good Men?
Yes.
Yes.
And when the Marines on the stand says you can't handle the truth,
Yeah.
well, the person who took the charge after him was I did 22 years in the military, was an executive officer, the
Thank you
person
for your
behind
service.
the CO.
Okay.
He's a wimp. I don't care how long he's been in baseball. He don't have the balls to be in charge of nothing. That's why they're like they are.
See, now
That's just my opinion.
that, and thank you for your service, Gary. I
Thank
do
you,
believe
Gary.
that's too far, going with the manhood, saying he doesn't
on.
have the balls to manage a team. When, to your point, Gary, yeah, Boehm does have his outbursts, but we can't rewrite history or ignore history. He did bench him.
But it's repeated again. But the
Correct.
same behaviors
I
are
got
being
it.
repeated again.
But he did bench him in a playoff game for his actions. Bryce Harper doesn't run unless what do you say? Unless it's a home run
or a double.
No, this guy runs maybe not to a ground ball to shortstop, but this guy will hit a base hit up the middle and thinks he can run just sprint to second base, which is stupid. So he does hustle. The whole Rob Thompson doesn't have the balls to manage this team. He's managed this team
I think
to
that's
a World
bridge.
Series.
It's a bridge too far.
Yeah.
But I would just say is that some of the energy of Gary, I understand where it comes from. Because leaders do not have to publicly shame. Leaders can take care of things behind closed doors, one-on-one, man-to-man, and can have it out. And leaders can sometimes take crap. And a player can realize that man-to-man, sometimes people step over a line.
Well, what I'm hoping is one of our great local reporters, any of them who cover the Phillies, can do some digging and getting some information for us all, because, again, we don't know
I'll
what
be
was said.
shocked if they do.
Yeah.
Considering just some of the reconnaissance I was trying to do last night, I'm going to be shocked if they get it.
And maybe that's a good thing.
And I think it's a great sign.
Yeah.
I think that's a great sign. I hope they almost don't get it.
Right.
It's a better sign if they don't get it.
Yeah, that means there's not many sour grapes. Here was Rob Thompson yesterday talking about the decision to bench Nick Castellanos.
Well, last night, one of the many things about Nick that I love is that he's very emotional. He loves to play, and he loves to play every inning of every game. I just thought last night he made an inappropriate comment after he came out, and so today he's not going to play. And I'm going to leave it at that.
And I'm glad that he just left it at that. I understand that you're bringing up that he shouldn't have been, publicly shamed or whatever, but that wasn't a harsh.
Yeah, I mean, but again, nobody knew any of it. And again, that can all be handled behind closed doors. I would have thought you handle it differently, especially if you're a guy that has never handled it behind closed doors. That would have been me. That's a little different situation. If I let all the stuff that's public go by without comment, I would have let something like that handle it. Hey, Nick, come into my office. Let's have a chat. Let's get this straightened out because this is never happening again. And I fully support Rob Thompson being pissed off. He has every right to be pissed off and trying to get it. I think it's a good sign that we don't know, though.
Okay.
That's a good sign because that tells you got a good clubhouse.
Now, what we do know is that Jesus Luzardo had plans last night.
Yeah. That was all over the broadcast last night.
This.
Connor, you heard it.
Because I do the bedtime, I have the game on mute. I'm watching, this whole kids thing during Phillies games.
Well, you're doing bath time and you're watching, but you're distracted.
Yeah. So I don't have the sound on. I'm reading Roto and Roy. That's his new favorite book.
They brought up early in the game during the second inning that Jesus Luzardo said, "I got to pitch fast tonight." And I wrote it down, which is weird because I had no idea how the game was going to go. But he had said before the game, I've got to make this a fast one tonight because I've got to see the Panthers game. Now, he grew up in Miami. He grew up a Panthers fan. He is a huge hockey fan. And he wanted to see Game 6. Last year he was hurt, got to go to Game 7. They had the pictures of him at Game 7. It meant a lot to him. He also scheduled, since he was going to be in town, Mom's birthday dinner for after the game last night, which just happened to be because the way the pitching rotation fell, the night they scheduled Mom's birthday dinner was the night that he ended up pitching. So not only did he have a giant family dinner to go to after the game that he was hosting out at a restaurant, he had the Panthers Game 6 that he said, I have to pitch fast tonight because I want to see the Panthers game. Connor, you heard it too, and your ears perked up.
Yeah, he had a lot going on. We've heard this before with players going back to their hometown and having a bunch of family and the distraction that can happen.
And by the way, I asked Ricky Bowe, I texted him last night before all this blew up.
Yeah.
I said, Ricky, is this common that teams let players, he's staying at his house. He's not staying with the team. Because in hockey, a lot of teams do not let you go stay with your family if you go to your hometown. They do not. They make you still stay with the team. He goes, no. No, they'll let you stay with your team because 7 players are staying at either their personal homes or with their families on this road trip.
Over the course of a long season, I understand that being maybe okay.
It's a distraction. That, to me, is a major distraction. and I'm just surprised by it.
It's just weird that he said, I got to pitch fast.
It was public.
Yeah. That's the weird thing.
And John Kruk called it out last night. The broadcast is being like, he goes, I don't like that.
That's one of those.
It may have been tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah, but that's one of those.
Still, distractions no good.
Just keep it to yourself.
Exactly.
Just keep it to yourself next time, Jesus.
Yeah, because he did look a little rushed.
He didn't have a great performance yesterday. All right, coming up next. I knew today would go a certain type of way with the Rob Thompson. So I had an idea. I thought about this driving in this morning, John.
In the rain? Another
rain.
rainy morning?
You know how there's buzzwords that make people upset to the point where they might mute them on social media?
Yes.
I wrote down who I believe are the John Kincade buzz names in Philadelphia sports.
My mute words? I have mute words.
No, just the names that make you pop off the most.
Okay.
Currently.
You have like a top 5?
I do.
Oh, good. I love it.
It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Thompson sits Castellanos. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies lost to the Marlins 8-3 last night down in Florida. The bullpen gave up 4 runs over 3 innings. The big story of the day, though, Nick Castellanos out of the lineup, ending his consecutive start streak after making what Rob Thompson said was an inappropriate comment when being taken out of Monday night's game. Here was Thompson's explanation of the decision.
One of the many things about Nick that I love is that he's very emotional. He loves to play, and he loves to play every inning of every game. I just thought last night he made an inappropriate comment after he came out, and so today he's not going to play.
We'll keep you updated on what happens with Castellanos going forward. It didn't help the situation that Max Kepler, who played right field, had a rough misplay in the course of the game. But the Phils will be back in action tonight. They'll get right back on the horse. 6:40 p.m. first pitch against the Marlins. Ranger Suarez on the mound against Adam Mazer. The Florida Panthers have completed their repeat. They won the Stanley Cup last night over the Edmonton Oilers down in Florida. Their second straight victory over the Oilers in the finals. The Thunder, we'll see tomorrow if they can do that themselves. They can win a championship if they take down the Pacers. Adam Schefter joins us coming up at 7:55. This update's brought to you by Dairy Queen. Layer on the flavor with the DQ sauced and tossed chicken strip baskets, now available in Honey Barbecue or New Buffalo. For a limited time, happy tastes good. Only at participating Dairy Queen locations. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the NBA Finals in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah.
Unis 97.5, The Fanatic. So I have John Kincaid's buzz names. So
Buzz names.
You guys all know buzzwords. It's
Okay.
usually something that maybe gets somebody excited or angry. They're that's the term where it gets a reaction out of somebody, right?
Okay.
Positive or negative.
Right.
I have your negative. The buzz names where you react whenever we talk about this person, usually in a way of frustration,
Okay.
or you're quick to be witty, or you're quick to bash.
Okay.
It's just the person. It's a list of names. Now,
First of all, I ain't no bitch.
he is on that list. All right, and some of these are for deserved, right?
Okay.
Like I'm not saying
No.
not
Let's see.
deserved. I'm
Let's see.
just
Well, are there any, Connor, before he gives the names, are there any name that I will contest?
No, I don't think
This
so.
is from
Okay.
doing the show with you for over a year.
Okay.
So, like, I think
Okay.
I have pretty good
I
information.
think you're pretty set on these.
Yeah, like,
Okay.
I don't think I can. I don't think I can be wrong.
Okay.
But I have the order, and maybe.
Oh, you have the order. All
Oh yeah, dude.
right, here we go.
Here's the thing. I listen to you.
All right, I like that.
It's the perfect marriage.
It is.
I listen.
Right.
All right. Number one is Joel Embiid, and every time we talk about Embiid, and again, deservedly so,
Okay.
but you pop off
Sure.
and you're quick to make a witty comment,
Yes.
or you're quick to point out previous bad moments for Joel Embiid.
Guilty as charged.
So Joel Embiid is number one on the list.
Okay, so I can contest order potentially.
Well, you can contest if I'm.
No,
if
but I
you
mean,
think
no.
I'm wrong.
Embiid, you're absolutely right, dude. I can't contest.
Number
that.
two,
All right.
I put Topper. Again,
Okay.
you give him his flowers
I
in
do.
what you believe
I also
is
give
worthy.
Embiid his. Yes,
I know
okay,
you
exactly.
do.
Okay, good.
But
All right.
Sleepy
but
Rob
always. Oh yes, absolutely.
would never ask him to play a game of Connect Four.
Yes,
You know,
I wouldn't pick him to win a game of
right.
Connect Four.
There's
He's not a master strategist.
there's just a lot of comments.
Right.
So Rob Thompson is number two on this list.
All right. I can't wait to hear who 3 is.
Now, this does not have to be a player, clearly, Rob Thompson. It also doesn't have to be somebody that's on a team.
Okay.
Number 3, not a specific person.
Not a specific person.
Flyers media.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
When you do
I don't know about 3 though.
No, the clutching of pearls thing that you do every time you bring up Flyers media when
Oh,
it
yeah,
came
I'll
to
give you that
John
one.
Tortorella. And
I'll
again,
give you that one.
this is 1 year of working with you.
Right.
So
Yeah.
what happened in previous morning show regime is not what I see. This is what I've seen
no,
since
that's
you
fair.
and I started doing the show.
I think that's fair.
Joel Embiid, number 1. Rob Thompson, number 2. Flyers media
Correct.
is number 3.
And that includes a lot of fringe.
Yes.
What is media?
Yes.
But it does. By the way, Amy Fadul, you've heard her. That backs my point of view on that.
Yes, absolutely. And again,
Okay.
this is Philadelphia only.
Okay.
So, this
I
isn't.
want to know who you have
this,
4.
This isn't Bronny James or LeBron.
I want to know who you have 4 because I think 4 could jump 3 because I
Number-
got to think there's somebody more than Flyers.
Number 4.
Okay.
If he was not hitting 309, he'd probably be ahead of Flyers media. But
Who?
Trey Turner. You use the word butcher in the 1 year that you and I have worked together more than I've heard in my entire life. Connor, can you agree with that? That the term butcher
defensively, yes,
the term butcher has been said on this show more than anybody else in the world. Even butchers themselves don't use the term butcher.
I could sit on the street corner in the Italian market and not hear butcher mentioned.
I don't
as
think
much.
I don't think a Colonial Village out in Chester County they use butcher that much. But the thing is, I'm going to contest this one though.
Okay.
Because I absolutely give him such flowers for being a spectacular offensive player.
Now you
that
do.
is because he's
last year you did not. You still point out that he wasn't that good last year, where he was good last year, except
streaky.
for the playoffs.
Right.
Earlier this year, it was called the worst contract in baseball by somebody.
A long, bad contract in baseball.
So Trey Turner, number 4.
It's an immovable contract. Nobody would take that contract,
and that's why he's number 4 on the list.
Point taken.
Number 5.
Okay.
Brandon Marsh. Now, I'm with you. Brandon Marsh might be in the top 3 for me.
I got to tell you, Marsh is ahead of Turner. I think your order's a little off.
I'm good with that flip-flop.
I think Marsh is ahead of Turner. And the thing is, I feel bad about this because I do really like Brandon. I like the young man. He's a nice kid. You know, I feel, but as far as just keeping it on his performance, yes.
All right. Now, I have 2 honorable mentions.
2 honorable mentions.
Now, one no longer plays in Philadelphia, but because he is a Temple Owl and we hold our own to a high standard, Hassan Reddick
you got it.
is an honorable mention.
No, he's
anytime
there.
he comes up in conversation or anytime we bring up 2023 and we don't even mention Reddick, you bring up his name.
No questions asked. That is a great pull on your part.
One more.
Absolutely.
One more honorable mention.
He gets the blood boiling because I think he depicts owls in a bad light.
See? One more honorable mention. Now, the only reason why he's only an honorable mention, and I think he is lucky, if the team he played for was better, if the team he played for wasn't in a rebuild, and if the team he played for didn't have a coach that the Flyers media, to my point, disliked the coach, and a lot of fans disliked the coach,
yes.
Sean Couturier would be higher on this list for the bad way the whole benching was handled.
Yep.
I myself have an opinion on Sean Couturier now that's going to take a lot for me to be swayed. If you're the captain, you can't go whining and crying to your agent.
And then acting like, I didn't say anything about it. My agent did.
And you're the captain.
I didn't say anything. My agent said something, but I didn't say anything. Your agent works for you.
Yes.
Your agent works for you. Your agent doesn't say a word unless you've given them permission.
And if that team was better and if that team had more eyes on them, because obviously they're going through a rebuild, so it's a little bit different, I think that would have been a bigger story.
By the way, Sean Couturier, if I'm making my personal list, it would be, if we talked about it more, would absolutely be higher than Reddick, would be higher than Marsh, would be higher than Turner.
Well, especially because of his standing on his team.
Exactly.
He's the captain of his
team. He's the captain of his team.
But if the Flyers had more attention,
no
absolutely.
Question. More eyeballs on him, that's good.
So?
You had a couple other honorable mentions.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Fair.
Connor, you have a couple?
I want Connor to
Connor,
give
you got
them.
a couple honorable mentions?
There's a guy that should have been top 5.
Who?
Where's DJ AAA on that list?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just because
but that's more of a comedic,
and he's such a bit
because
player.
he's such a bit. Yeah, he's
like Brandon Marsh. You make jokes of the ZZ Flop, but like
and I didn't come up with that nickname.
I know, but he's a starting center fielder. Unfortunately,
yeah. DJ
Garrett Stubbs is the backup. That's why that's more comedic.
It's more comedic.
Stubbs gets more play than some guys on the major league team so far this year.
He does.
Okay, who else comes to mind? Connor?
That was the first one that I had. I was zoned in on him.
Okay. I'm going to take a couple honorable mentions, and they're in the building. They're in our building.
Ooh.
Kevin Cooney and Kevin Cooney,
who, by the way, very active on our YouTube chat this morning.
Kevin, good to have him here, and of course Dylan McTrollan.
Yes,
because Kevin and Dylan share common social media DNA.
Yes, they do.
That I can't handle with people on social media. What do I acknowledge from my very first tweet about the Rob Thompson Nick?
That he had the right to make his decision.
My very first tweet on it. I do not absolve Nick Sirianni Nick Castellanos to blame. I blame Nick Castellanos and say, look, Nick Castellanos, if he went over the line, he absolutely deserves to be disciplined, and Nick Castellanos absolutely should never have stepped over the line. I don't think that it had to be made public and everything, and then I make my case the other way. I think I pride myself on being able to be objective. That I look at something and go, I believe there was error on both sides. But I believe the initial error, as I point out, starts with Castellanos doing the wrong thing. I can't deal with the energy on social media, the people who are like, nope, Topper's right, Castellanos is wrong, and that's what it is. And there's no other answer. There's no other option. No, there is.
Yeah, but I will say,
because
hold on.
There is an option.
In fairness to Kevin and Dylan, there are a lot of times where you just attack Rob for something, and sometimes it takes a while for you to see the other side on it.
What do you mean?
Pitching decisions, McAble, the McAble thing.
Okay, but I still don't accept that decision. As the Phillies broadcasters didn't.
Okay, the Phillies broadcasters didn't, but maybe...
I still don't. I still don't accept that.
Exactly the point.
But we don't know,
exactly
because
the point.
we don't know.
To what you're saying about Kevin and Dylan, you do the same thing, just the opposite.
We don't. No, but I do. No, but what did I acknowledge yesterday? It could, and I acknowledged on air, it may have come from upstairs.
Yes.
And if that did happen, I said that sucks. So I did acknowledge that. So that is incorrect.
Your first reaction is to attack Topper on it.
Oh, absolutely it is. As was the Phillies broadcasters on the broadcast.
Well, because they're doing the game live.
And they're actually there and sort of embedded with the team.
All right.
So I think they know what they're doing.
Don't forget,
I'm just going to guess.
It is a Wednesday morning, so we'll take a break from Castellanos talk around 7:55 when our man Adam Schefter joins us for his weekly hit. Always love talking to Schefty on a Wednesday morning. But also coming up next, yesterday at the end of the show, the report came out about Ace Bailey. Is he off your board?
Seems like a hit job.
It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. We want to hear from you, so text us at 610-632-0975.
You text it.
Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you.
God, Natalie, I love you. Natalie on Twitter, formerly of YouTube, now on Twitter. Honorable mention for John Kincade
What's that?
for the buzz names. And you, Natalie, thank you.
So it's one that I'm not going to contest. Natalie would have a PhD in
I
knowing.
believe he climbs into the top. I believe he's number 3. No, you know what? I think he goes above Thompson.
What?
Gilly.
Oh, wait a minute.
I don't know how I missed
Okay,
Gilly.
wait a minute. Natalie.
You are spot on.
Natalie nailed that one.
I think he's number 2.
No, not
He might
above.
be one.
No, not above
Embiid's
Thompson.
number 1.
No, not above Thompson.
No, because Embiid's earned it. Gilly's done nothing.
Yes, he has.
That's no, Gilly's done nothing
He's
wrong.
done absolutely
Yes, he has.
Your
nothing.
weird
Yes, he has. He's
obsession with Gilly is insane to me.
He's globbed on to every single thing where he doesn't belong.
Look, I still respect the hell out of him for going on Paul George's podcast and telling him like it is. Like, I respect him for doing that, man.
Okay, that's great.
But she's right. Gilly deserves to be up
Did
on
he like
that
rear
list.
end your car or something?
No,
Did he steal your girlfriend? Like,
No.
what's the Gilly beef?
no.
I just don't get it.
It's amazing to me. All right, real quick before we get to this Ace Bailey stuff. You know how stressed I am about today's show?
How stressed are you?
I just noticed something in the bathroom, man.
What? Okay.
Whoa.
Right
Did
here.
they change
Family
the urinal
program.
mats today?
No, there's a. I got a.
Don't tell me there's a roach.
I saw a solid patch of silvers right here.
Gray hair?
Uh-oh.
I looked in the mirror. I was like,
I don't see it.
I think it was the lighting, and then I looked closer. It's like 6 or 7 patches.
I don't see it.
Well, I think it's being covered by the headphones a little bit.
No, I really don't
Man.
see it.
Look at
remove
what-
the headset for a
Look at
second.
what you did to me, man. It's right. Well, I'm far away from you. It was right around here.
No, I seriously don't see it.
right.
Okay, so I mean, it's
This
a
is what
light.
working with you
It's a
does
light.
sometimes.
It's a lighting thing. It is a lighting thing. So
It was
don't worry about
a little
that.
rough moment for me.
Don't worry about. Remember,
You're getting old,
kid.
remember, it's about keeping your hair. As someone who has lost their hair 3 times and gotten it back,
Yes.
it's about keeping your hair. It's not about the color of it. And by the way,
Correct. I'd be fine being a silver fox.
I can tell you that you get many, many compliments on a great head of hair, whether
Yeah.
it's whatever color it is.
I don't know. The old adage is your mother's.
It's your mother's father
Right.
is the now that only is a certain percentage
Correct.
of your odds.
But he passed away when my
But
mom
it is
was,
a major
My
part
mom
of
was
it.
only like 4 or 5 when he passed. So like I don't know.
you don't know what he looks like?
I have photos, but he was in his
What was he
like
in?
late 30s.
Oh, well, no, so you
Early
don't know what he looked
40s?
like when he died?
No.
Your mom doesn't have any.
Well, no.
like-
She was like 3. So like her kid pictures is what he looked like. He,
okay, so your grandfather died. What
very,
age?
very young. I
Okay.
don't know the exact
Okay.
age. But
See, my
very
grandfather died. Who we went last year. I went down to Virginia to see his grave and everything like that because I don't know much about him.
Yeah.
but he's like my exact lookalike.
Young. Okay.
Him and I are doppelgangers.
Yeah.
He died Father's Day, the year my mom was pregnant with me,
Oh, how about that?
and he is my doppelganger.
Yeah.
And my mom would say to me, "Dad, no, Dad," because I reminded her so
Right,
much
right.
of her father.
That's crazy.
So
I just don't know how I don't know how the hair is going to look.
But he had a head of hair when he died.
God, I hope you go bald.
He looked like Blake
Wow.
Carrington.
No, I said I told Christy we've already had this agreement. If I start losing hair, I'm shaving it. I'll go.
You gonna go bick it?
I'll go Mr. Clean. I'm totally fine with that.
Well, we could come up with some good Salciunas nicknames if you go bald.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's material
your
right
dad
there.
still looks great.
Yes, he does.
So, I mean, but that's your dad's hair.
Not much hair though.
No, but your dad is a good dad. Your dad still looks good.
Yes, he looks good. He does not have hair.
I mean, he's.
All right. So at the end of the show yesterday, there was an interesting report from Jonathan Givney, who does a tremendous job.
We trust him.
Yeah, he like built his own NBA Draft Express. He sort of built that on his own, and then ESPN hired him.
He's Mel Kiper
for the NBA
same
draft.
thing, because Mel Kiper built his own thing, and then ESPN hired him.
Yes.
Same exact concept.
And
This
he's
guy,
done a tremendous job.
Great job.
And so he put out a report yesterday about Ace Bailey and how Ace Bailey has been turning down meetings with teams like from the 3 to 8 range, basically saying, I want to be in a position where I'm going to be a star. It's the path to stardom.
Malika Andrews' show had it.
Okay.
So it is verified that, like in NBA circles, that this actually has happened.
And now I believe there was a report last week that he is going to meet with the Sixers, because remember, last week was the VJ Edgecombe meeting where they flew Maxey out and all that kind of stuff. Look, it freaks me out. All right, like I've already seen a couple of players get drafted with top picks from the Sixers from programs that weren't good. You drafted them based off of measurables and ability. Like, let's face it, Markelle Fultz could shoot, and Ben Simmons did have ability.
He could shoot back then.
Ben Simmons had ability, whether you want to agree with it or not. I know that the shooting thing was something that bothered a lot of people, but he had ability, and then all of a sudden he just lost his mind.
Okay.
This freaks me out. I'm not going to lie to you. A guy that's already kind of set in his ways at the age of 19 after playing for Rutgers.
Well, hey, Rutgers, power program over there in Jersey.
Yeah, that's why they finished below 500 with arguably 2 of the top 3 talents in the NBA draft.
That to me is...
That scares me.
I heard Mike talking about it yesterday with Ray. I'm in Team Ray on this. I think it's ridiculous that you'd have 2 of the top 3 guys to go in the draft and
be bad.
And you're bad?
Like, bad. It's not that... Like,
that's bad on the...
Oh, they didn't make the tournament, but they won the NIT. Like, no, they were a bad basketball team.
You have a guy who goes... they were using the Steph Curry example. You have a guy who goes 7th in the draft, Steph Curry, who dragged a bunch of wannabes.
Yeah, through the tournament.
Like, through the tournament. I don't get it. I really don't understand it.
Like, when I saw that report, kind of freaked me out. Now, I've said it from the beginning. I don't believe after, 2, you're getting a franchise sort of changing player.
Right.
And Ace Bailey makes sense in terms of a measurable and fit sort of standpoint. Well, my man's talking about trying to get the path of stardom. Like, I need you to just fill a role, first of all. With this basketball team, you could become a star if Embiid and Paul George don't play, which good chance that happens.
Well, first off, you went to Rutgers. Stop talking about being a star.
Yeah, that's
Go
the other
prove
thing.
yourself. Go prove yourself first.
Yeah, like the whole path to stardom thing, like
let's be honest.
Exactly. You
didn't do it. You didn't do anything.
Rutgers.
You didn't do anything in college.
Easy on Rutgers.
No, they didn't do anything in college.
To Kentucky.
And you didn't go to Kentucky and then have moments where the country got to know you and everything.
This is anti-New Jersey discrimination.
You're not even making the freaking tournament.
I don't like it either, but I won't stand for this
How
anti-Rutgers
do you not
stuff.
make a 60-18 tournament when you have 2 of the top 3 players in the country?
Yeah. I'm starting to get freaked out by this guy. I'm not going to lie.
Be honest.
Coming up next, Adam Schefter for his Wednesday hit. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
A surprise benching for the Phillies. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phils lost to the Marlins 8-3 last night down in Florida. The bullpen gave up 4 runs over 3 innings worth of work, so a lot of the loss is on them. But obviously the big story yesterday is the surprise benching of Nick Castellanos. Castellanos sat last night, ending his consecutive start streak after making what Rob Thompson said was an inappropriate comment when being taken out of Monday night's game. Here's what Topper had to say before the game yesterday.
One of the many things about Nick that I love is that he's very emotional. He loves to play, and he loves to play every inning of every game. I just thought last night he made an inappropriate comment after he came out, and so today he's not going to play.
We don't know the nature of the comment. We'll keep you updated as that story continues to develop, and we'll see if Castellanos is back in the lineup tonight. The Phils will be back in action at 6:40 against the Marlins. Ranger Suarez versus Adam Mazur is the pitching matchup. The Florida Panthers, well, they've won their second straight Stanley Cup, and second straight against the Oilers. They took down Edmonton in Florida last night to hoist Lord Stanley's Cup. The Thunder will see if they can lift a trophy of their own. They play tomorrow night against the Pacers. They have an opportunity to win the NBA Finals. Adam Schefter joins us coming up next. This update's brought to you by Moyer Indoor Outdoor Services. Follow Andrew Salciunas' lead and get a jump on a lush green lawn this spring right now. Go to emoyer.com for free estimates. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the NBA Finals in Philadelphia, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Ricky Bo, Bill Colarulo.
Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue.
Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. We're awaiting our man Adam Schefter from ESPN as you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, WPN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, a BZ Media Group station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. While we await Adam Schefter, how about caller 7 in honor of John Kincade?
Thank you.
Caller 7 to 610-632-0975 will win a 4-pack of the grandstand tickets to the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400 NASCAR Cup Series. It's Sunday, July 20th at Dover Motor Speedway. NASCAR returns to Dover Motor Speedway July 18th through the 20th. See NASCAR's best drivers race at speeds up to 200 miles an hour, and then amazing fan zone and more. Get tickets at dovermotorspeedway.com. Again, caller 7 to 610-632-0975. And we're going to be joined here by our man, Adam Schefter, here momentarily on the Comcast Business Hotline, where every day in business is a big day. Let Comcast Business get you ready for what's next. And he's brought to us by our friends over at Landis Block. Create your very own jaw-dropping backyard paradise online at landisbc.com. From ESPN, Adam Schefter joins us. Shefty, good morning.
Good morning, Andrew and John. How are we doing?
We're doing good.
Good
We
day
are
today.
now awaiting training camp, so we got some time. So I'll ask you, is this one of the scariest times for NFL organizations now until the start of training camp, making sure everybody is good to go for the return of camp?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you worry about that when, they're not in a building and no structure, no regimen. That's fun. But I think, I don't know, I kind of, maybe I'm older, but I just feel like we're in a different day and age. I think people are smarter. I think people are more aware. It's not to say that people don't do dumb things sometimes. Of course they do. But I just think sometimes that there's a heightened awareness that there's been so much education that's been instilled in these young men, and they've watched so many things unfold, good and bad, that I like to think, and maybe I'm being naive, that people are just a little bit savvier about making smarter decisions. Now, watch that blow up in my face here in the next few weeks. Certainly could happen. But I just think, look, there's always going to be things that happen and go wrong and people make mistakes. But it doesn't feel to me over the last 4, 5, 6 years like there have been quite as many as there used to be.
Adam,
Which, by the way, in a day and age where there's more scrutiny than ever before, I think it's even more impressive.
I think with guys like Andrew and his age group, they don't remember when guys used to come to training camp to get into shape and to play themselves into shape. That nowadays in the NFL, and you've seen it over your evolution of being with the game, now these players, it's a completely different sort of mindset. I think there's a more professional approach all year long, the 12 months of the year, to being ready to go.
Well, and to add to that, John, these guys are entering a professional world sooner than they ever have. They're being paid in college. And so they recognize there's money to be had there, so maybe they're putting more emphasis on training or nutrition or behavior or appearances or relationships, even in college, maybe even in high school. I'm just telling you, I had at one point in time a high school player called me. He's like, hey, if I go to Michigan, would you tweet my announcer? I'm like, yeah, I don't really do that very often, but if that means something to you and you want to announce it, that's fine. And so, I don't know, like a month later, I hear from one of this guy's representatives who I never hear from, like, in the NFL, and I'm like, what's going on? He goes, hey, I just want to make sure you're going to be tweeting the announcement of that kid. Like, holy cow. I'm like, you work? Yeah, we've been working with them since high school.
Wow.
So, it's a different world. I think people are more aware and savvier. Again, people still will make mistakes, and people still will do things that they shouldn't in the next month when they're off. But I really do believe that the percentage of that has gone down in recent years, and I think your explanation is a perfectly logical one, that they're trained to be more professional, think more professional at a younger age than ever before.
See, we're now at a time where there's not much to react to or to ask you about the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm glad to have you on. And I'm glad that you just said something about, the college kids getting paid now. Do you foresee a future where more players opt to stay another year in college because they will make more money? And I'm not talking about like the Carson Becks of the world, who are a late draft pick, and so they're going to make more money in college. I'm talking about guys that could potentially go in like the second round after 2 years of college. Do you think they'd stay for a third year to try to make that extra bit of money?
I think it's certain big football schools, and again, I don't know exactly how the system works, but I think it's certain big schools where they really get paid. I think it's in the best interest of these players to stay in school as long as they can and make similar, if not more money, and get your degree and go through college and gain that added maturity. Like, why would you leave early to jumpstart your career? I know some people are in a rush to get to the NFL level or NBA level. But if people are paying you, look, Michigan. I was at a charity golf tournament last week. The Michigan head coach in football and basketball there, and I was talking to Dusty May about one of the players who went to the NBA this year. And again, he's an impressive kid, and he did well. And he talked about how Michigan was the best year of his life, and so I'm like, well, why would he go to the NBA? And even he comes from a family that that is comfortable. So it's like, what are you rushing away from college for? Like, what's the rush? I don't get it. So to me, yeah, I know that's the dream of a lot of players to get to the next level. That's what they want to do. But I if I were advising a kid and the money were the same, I'd be in school, I'd be growing up, I'd be getting my degree, I'd be making money and having fun, and then after all that is completed, then I would turn pro. And again, every case is different, but that's how I would think about it. Yes.
Is it recency bias on my part, Adam, that it seemed like the June 1st cut date this year, post June 1st cuts, was sort of a nothing burger this year?
Yeah.
And I wonder is that because of more flexibility with the cap? That maybe there's just less, teams aren't as tight up against the cap, and maybe there aren't as many. And are there still names out there that you think are going to become bigger stories as we get towards training camp?
Well, first of all, I think there were fewer June 1 cuts, and I think it is in part because the cap has gone up, and I think it's in part because teams are very wise about how they address these contracts year-round. They don't just wait the way they're structured in advance. So, yeah, there was some – and by the way, like there were some June 1st cuts that we hear about earlier. They're just executed. It's a whole combination of factors, but there still are a number of interesting names on the street. Now, if you're a player on the street right now, there's probably a pretty good reason for it. So, I know that we all will get, worked up when Von Miller signs or Keenan Allen signs or some of these guys who still are on the street. And there are some interesting names, but, they've been out there for a long time. And if they're out there this long, either their price was too high or their skills have dropped off or some combination of the both. And so while they're big names and they'll generate some conversation if and when they do sign, I don't know how much of an impact anybody at this time of the year is going to make. There might be, a few guys that break through and really make an impact in the difference. But by and large, I don't. That's not usually the case.
Schefter, what's the next big national story now that Aaron Rodgers is finally signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers? Obviously, we will be following along to see how that goes. But what's the next big national story that we're going to be keeping a close eye on?
Well, I think I'll give myself cover here, and I'll just say when the pass rushers are paid, right? Because Trey Hendrickson's still upset with the Bengals, hasn't reported. T.J. Watt staying away from Pittsburgh, and we're waiting for Micah Parsons to become the highest paid defensive player in NFL history, which is what I expect that deal to be when it's done. The highest, like beating Myles Garrett.
Wow.
So,
wow.
Oh, yeah. That's where it's going. And I don't know whether that gets done in a week or a month or right for the season. But, Myles will set a new bar, and at that point in time, the Dallas Cowboys will have the highest paid player in football in Dak Prescott and the highest paid defensive player in football. And look, Myles Garrett right now got the deal, right? Like he got the big deal this past offseason, became the highest paid defensive player. And from the age of 26 to 29, so over the last 4 years, Myles Garrett had 216 quarterback pressures and 286 pass rush wins, 216 to 86. Micah Parsons, age 22 to 25, so 4 years younger than Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett's numbers are 216 to 86. Micah Parsons, 251 pressures, 310 pass rush wins, 251, 310, compared to 216, 286. A player 4 years younger. I will say it again. Micah Parsons is going to become the highest paid defensive player in football history.
You realize there's a lot of people in Eagles country that have always said, because Micah seems a little obsessed with the Eagles.
He loves the Eagles.
On his podcast and on draft night and things like that. The people have always thought, oh, he's going to end up being an Eagle. It's obvious from your comments, he's not going to end up being an Eagle.
No, he's going to end up becoming the highest paid defensive player in NFL history.
Wow.
Now, how long he holds that title is a different issue, but when that deal gets done, that is what it will be. I fully expect it.
That's unbelievable.
Wow. All right. Well, Shefty, we're going to keep an eye on that. We appreciate your time
Thanks,
as always,
Adam.
man. Always love having you on, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Guys, have a great week. Appreciate having me, and we'll be in touch next week.
Yep.
There you go.
There he's Adam Schefter on the Comcast Business Hotline, brought to us by our friends at Landis Block Create, your very own jaw-dropping backyard paradise online at landisbc.com. Micah Parsons.
Unlike Pat McAfee, we love having Adam Schefter on all the time. And we're thrilled that he's a part of our show every week.
Yes, we are.
We appreciate him.
I missed the McAfee stuff.
Yeah, it's like sometimes men are very sensitive. Very sensitive. Adam, just totally class.
Maybe Rob Thompson is sensitive.
Could be.
And maybe that's why he benched Nick Castellanos.
Seems like it. Seems like it.
Or he crossed the line.
Oh, no. He had to cross a line.
Right, but what line?
Let's be awesome.
We'll see what. Maybe we find that out one day. All right, coming up next, it is today's headlines with Connor Thomas. It is
You better
Kincade
not cross
Salciunas.
any lines,
Yeah, you
Thomas.
better. Well, he does every day. Here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Ray Dunn, Mike Missanelli.
But people get frustrated when people don't hit.
Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Big thank you to Adam Schefter for joining us in the last segment, as he does each and every week. You can hear that again on 97.5thefanatic.com. We'll play our best 5 minutes of it later on next hour. Also, of course, Haley does a great job putting it up on YouTube right away. I always like I understand the Eagles are like the center of the universe when it comes to the NFL, but it's always a nice little treat to be able to talk about stuff other than the Eagles when we have Shefty on. I'll ask you guys before we get to headlines. Are you okay? Obviously, we all want people to make money. So I imagine you'd be okay with a player deciding, I'm going to stay another year in college to make more money than I would make off of my rookie contract. But do you believe teams would feel a certain type of way about that when it comes to their draft analysis? Or do you think they just go, all right, this guy's really good, we're going to draft him?
I think it's spectacular for a guy. I think it's awesome if a guy makes a decision to stay in college.
Yeah, but they're not staying in college for the education, some of these guys. Like some of them are saying, I'm going to stay in college to make more money.
I never care if they're staying for the education.
Right.
I never care if
what I'm talking about is the NIL stuff.
No, I think
if a guy says I can stay one more year, make $8 million, whereas my rookie contract I'll make what was it like $5 million?
I think that's fantastic. That
does a team say, oh man, so you're more so here in it for the money?
Yeah, because that's what I'm going to do. It's my job. It's my career. Yes.
Yeah, I don't think teams would.
I don't think teams look at that at all.
Especially considering the guys staying are going to be the premier players because they're getting paid.
They're getting paid a lot of money.
They're
Again,
the good
that's
players.
why I asked, like, not Carson Beck, right? Good for Carson Beck. Stay for 8 years if you can, right? Like, make all the money in the world because you're not going to make much of it in the NFL. But if there's a premier player, you know, remember Jamar Chase got crap for skipping out on a year?
Yeah.
Because of the COVID stuff, and he was like, look, I'm going to be a first-round draft pick regardless. He left. Imagine staying a year just to make more money.
Yeah, he wasn't getting paid.
Right. I wonder what if there's a reaction to it.
No, I don't think teams would care at all. I mean, I think teams understand the era we're living in. I love the fact that college players are getting paid.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's awesome.
Except for the wild transfer portal. It's a little too much.
Well, no, that's why they're changing the rules.
Yeah, I'm glad that they are.
So,
all right, it is time now for today's headlines with Connor Thomas.
Today's headlines with Connor Thomas.
Brought to us by who?
Our friends over at Lundy Law. For over 70 years, Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. If you need them, remember the name Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com. We had a championship last night. The Stanley Cup was in the building, and it was awarded for the second straight year to the Florida Panthers. Here is what it sounded like.
Down to the final 5 seconds. Rats rain down. Lord Stanley staying in South Florida. Last year was greatness. This time it's historic. The Florida Panthers are back-to-back Stanley Cup champions.
Goldie did a good job there.
Yeah, that's a great call on the radio.
Yeah.
There.
And Goldie, a former guy who just did our job.
Oh, is that right?
For a living, who became a play-by-play guy.
So
it's gonna be Ray Dunn one day.
I gotta keep.
You know it is.
I gotta keep the same energy because the NBA playoffs, the NBA finals. Like I don't care that it's OKC versus Indiana. But doesn't it feel weird that a Florida hockey team has back-to-back cups?
Oh, the Lightning did it.
Lightning have already done it.
I know. Doesn't that like?
No. Why?
Because they're not a hockey.
It's
type
been so long.
Like I think about.
It's been so long that it's.
I just think about like Northeast.
Nah, it's been so long.
And the Flyers have had 50 years.
Well, yeah,
since they've won there.
I love the Canadian broadcasters, like the guys on Spit and Chicklets, complaining about. Well, Florida doesn't have any taxes. It's unfair.
That's why they have players.
It's unfair that players want to go live in Florida.
Yeah.
Well, it's horrible that Canada taxes you like 52 cents on the dollar of what you earn.
Change the rules.
Maybe if the country didn't tax you 52 cents on the dollar, maybe they wouldn't want to. Maybe players would want to come and play in Canada.
That could be.
Maybe change your policy.
Well, hey, the Canadian drought continues.
Yes.
Speaking of championships and rings, LeBron James talked on a podcast about ring culture in the NBA. This may sound a little ironic coming from Bron. I want you to hear his thoughts on it.
I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport and why it's the A-all, B-all of everything. Like, okay, you weren't a great player if you never won a championship. It's like, or if you won one, then you can't be in the same conversation with this person. I don't know, man. It's just like, you sit here and you tell me, Allen Iverson and Charles Barkley and like, oh, they can't be talked about or discussed with these guys is because this guy won one ring or won two rings or won, like, it's just weird to me.
Now, look, I get what he's saying. I remember Kevin Durant had this opinion a couple of years ago as well, that like people try to make it all about rings. Now, LeBron,
who's a ring chaser
first
too,
of all,
Kevin Durant.
LeBron, you literally built a super team in Miami. So
yeah, right.
That's when there's a little bit of hypocrisy here.
I think it's a Trojan horse argument to try and get him more in the conversation with Jordan.
Yeah,
and Kevin Durant, who had to ring chase to get a ring.
Right, but nobody's saying Kevin Durant isn't a spectacular player.
He's a spectacular player.
But to what I'll say back to LeBron is there are levels to great player, legendary player, one of the best players of all time. Like, we're going to get into a conversation later on this show about Connor McDavid, and it's a conversation we had 2 weeks ago when Brendan was still in for Connor about, Connor McDavid being the tremendous player that he is, but he doesn't reach a certain legendary status until he wins.
Well, he how about this? Connor McDavid needs to show up.
Right.
Yeah, he's been real quiet.
He's been a non-factor.
And
there's
so,
a difference to that.
So when we talk about like the ring stuff, like, nobody's saying Allen Iverson wasn't a tremendous. I loved Allen Iverson, but part of the reason why he didn't win a ring was because it was hard to build a team around him. And that is like what LeBron does. Is LeBron can win you a game scoring 40, but then LeBron can also win you a game with 15 dimes and blocks and all kinds.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Just the irony of that conversation coming from LeBron James was not lost on me. Now, in lieu of the replay, we're going to do something a little bit different because obviously what we were talking about earlier has all been the Nick Castellanos stuff. So I've compiled a very, very comprehensive list of the top 5 things Nick Castellanos could have said to get benched. At number 5, we have Florida has won more Stanley Cups in the last 2 years than Canada has in the last 33, you hoser.
I like
could have
that.
got him
I
with
like
Rob
that.
Thompson.
The hoser thing is a slur, so that's good.
4, best looking manager in baseball, my ass.
Okay.
Number 3, he was asked whether or not he wanted a defensive replacement and responded to Rob Thompson.
That's a stupid question.
Okay.
Could have gotten it done.
Could have gotten it done.
Number 2, he told Rob Thompson, if I hit a home run right now, it will literally plunge the entire world into war, which is a realistic opportunity for Nick Castellanos.
Yeah, it'd be tough.
But number 1 is the runaway winner here. John Kincade was right about you, Sleepy Rob.
Yep.
And you said that's him. That's an auto benching.
He may have called him Sleepy Rob.
I saw one on YouTube earlier saying he threatened that Canada will become the 51st state.
Yes. Could be.
I forget who said that. I apologize. I saw it on YouTube. I told you I watch. It's just sometimes we're busy.
The West.
So, hey, we'll see if any of those are what actually were said.
Good job with today's headlines.
That was very good, Connor.
Really
by the way, yesterday, Mike was, in quick thing headlines, Mike was advocating yesterday for price fixing of tickets. Did you hear this? Mike was saying he wants to run for president.
Okay.
And he wants to indicate that now he wants price fixing for tickets. That teams are not allowed to charge for tickets.
Charge it all?
No, they're not allowed to charge more than a certain amount. He wants price fixing.
Oh, okay.
That they're not allowed. I will run against Mike Missanelli immediately if he does that. I will.
Oh, you don't care about the
declare
common
my
man?
candidacy.
He's a man of the people.
No, I do. I
Ambassador.
do. But I do care about free markets. Mike coming in with his. I mean, seriously, his sickle and his hammer. It was unbelievable.
I'm curious how that campaign would go. Kincade versus Missanelli.
Oh my gosh. It was an unbelievable discussion, but it was a really interesting discussion him and Ray were having yesterday.
All right, coming up next. I read something this morning on ESPN about the top lineups in Major League Baseball, Johnny. I'll be honest, I kind of hated it. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Phils fall to the Marlins. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies lost to Miami 8-3 last night down in Florida. The bullpen, well, they were not great. 4 runs given up over 3 innings worth of work from guys like Tanner Banks, Joe Ross, and Michael Mercado. But obviously the big story yesterday is Nick Castellanos not being on the field. Not only did it end his consecutive start streak, but it came after what Rob Thompson said was an inappropriate comment from Castellanos when being taken out of the game Monday night. Here's what Rob Thompson had to say pregame.
One of the many things about Nick that I love is that he's very emotional. He loves to play, and he loves to play every inning of every game. I just thought last night he made an inappropriate comment after he came out, and so today he's not going to play.
We'll keep you updated on what more comes out about that story and if we hear what Castellanos' comments were specifically, if we can say them on air. The Phils will be back in action tonight at 6:40 against the Marlins. Ranger Suarez versus Adam Mazur, the pitching matchup. The Florida Panthers have completed the repeat. They won the Stanley Cup again last night over the Oilers down in Florida. The Thunder will see if they can win a championship of their own. Tomorrow night, they're 1 game away from winning the NBA Finals over the Pacers. This update is brought to you by Macy's Backstage. Macy's Backstage is a whole new floor inside your Macy's, and right now you'll find the latest summer styles, all for under $25. With new arrivals every day, you never know what amazing deals you'll find. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the NBA Finals in Philadelphia, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Join 97.5 The Fanatic for a live broadcast with Flyers leadership.
Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun. So free, just the beach, the are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, walking on the sand, no care, surfing in the sun, so free, just the beach, the waves and me.
.27 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. A lot of our conversation today has been about the Phillies and Rob Thompson's decision to bench Nick Castellanos yesterday. We'll get back more into that. I know we have a lot of text messages on it, so we'll get there. But I saw something on ESPN this morning, and they did a mid-season, I'm guessing they're going to do a bunch of these.
Okay.
But they did the mid-season lineup rankings. And it was, the panelists, right? So Jeff Passan, David Schoenfield, Bradford Doolittle, which is like just a great name, by the way.
Bradford Doolittle?
Bradford Doolittle. Like, I feel like that guy could be in a movie. And a bunch of guys that work for, and gals that work for ESPN.
I want someone to do a lot.
I don't think that's a last name for anybody.
Do a lot would be the guy you want.
So they did their top 10 lineups in Major League Baseball. The Dodgers are at number 1. The Yankees are at number 2, which, by the way, for the people that freak out whenever the Phillies have a bit of a rough stretch, the Yankees have lost 5 straight games. They've been shut out for 3 straight games. They've scored 5 runs in the last 6 games.
That's incredible that they've been shut out 3 straight games.
And only scoring 5 runs in the last 6.
I said to you this morning, people would lose their minds here.
So,
perspective.
Yeah, the Phillies went through an awful stretch. The Yankees, who are coming off of going to the World Series, the defending ALCS champs, are having a pretty rough stretch right now. And I don't think anybody's saying that the Yankees stink and they're going to miss the playoffs.
Now, they're only 12 games over 500 now, the Yankees, and now the Phillies have a better record than them.
Yeah. And
so it shows you ebbs and flows.
They happen.
It's been a bad week.
The Cubbies are at 3. The D-backs are at 4.
Woo, really?
The Yankees are, the Mets are at 5.
Wait a minute.
And the Phillies coming at number 6.
The Diamondbacks?
Now, here's the deal.
Wait a minute.
Somebody listening might think I'm about to say the Phillies should be higher on this list. I'll be honest, man. 6 is too high for the Phillies lineup right now.
I think 6 is too high for the Phillies lineup.
So
by far.
I agree with you. Like, really, the D-backs?
The Diamondbacks at 4?
But here's the deal. The Phillies should not be at 6. They do not deserve to be at number 6. The other teams in the top 10, the Tigers are at 7, Jays at 8. The A's are at 9, and the Cardinals are at 10.
By the way, the A's, who constantly get harassed as being this, poverty franchise and everything, the A's have done a nice job with not spending money.
They are a poverty franchise.
But they're building a nice franchise for the move to Vegas.
Yeah, and then when
they're
it's time,
setting themselves up.
And then when it's time to pay players, they're not going to. That's why they're a poverty franchise.
No, when they're moving to Vegas, though, when they have the money and they have the stadium and they have fans who go to their games,
then they'll
remember, they were abandoned for 10 years by their fan base.
Right, I know.
Because they were playing in an area where no one would go to the games for their own safety.
Right.
For God's sakes.
So
terrible stadium, too.
The Phillies at 6 is way too high. Now, here's what they wrote. For each team, they wrote why it's fearsome, one weakness, and a player who makes it all click. So I'll go through it. Why it's so fearsome, this is what they wrote for the Phillies. The Phillies have veterans with big names who have all been productive hitters at various points in their careers. So sentence number 1, I don't care about various points in their careers.
What's that about this year, right?
Right, again.
What does that matter?
He's hitting the ball pretty well right now.
JT Realmuto once was a feared hitter.
Right, Max Kepler 6 years ago.
They're not feared hitters.
That does nothing for me. Now, they did say, although not necessarily in 2025.
Okay.
Kyle Schwarber has been the linchpin so far, moved out of the leadoff spot and leading the team in home runs, runs scored, and RBIs. Wow. You can take a guy out of the leadoff spot and all those things still happen. Shocker. Trey Turner is having his best season since joining the Phillies in 2023 with a 364 on-base percentage. That's his highest since 2021. Alec Boehm has been on his usual roller coaster, homerless in April, but hitting .331 with 7 home runs since the beginning of May. So that's what makes them so fearsome.
Okay. What? The minute that somebody says to me, you're doing a list for this year, and at the halfway point of the season,
yeah,
and you're going to talk to me about the history of Max Kepler and JT Realmuto, I don't want to hear it.
Now,
what does that tell me?
1 week.
By the way, JT has been better the last couple weeks.
He has been. One weakness, they have multiple weaknesses.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Catcher JT Realmuto has carried a huge workload through the years, but is now 34 years old and is showing some signs of age with career lows in batting average, slugging, and OPS. Bryson Stott was an above-average hitter in 2023 before dipping last season, and he's been even worse in 2025 with an OPS plus of just 75. I don't know what the average is of OPS plus. Can we just have normal numbers? Part-time center fielder Johan Rojas provides speed and defense, but not much offense, and as usual, the bench is pretty weak. Yes, that's more than one weakness. That doesn't even mention Brandon Marsh and his struggles. And then finally, player who makes it all click, as you can imagine, it's Bryce Harper.
That is correct.
He hasn't had one yet this season, hot streak. He has yet to have one hot streak this season and is currently on the injured list because of his right wrist injury. His .446 slugging percentage and .814 OPS are his lowest since 2016. Harper has always been an outlier of sorts. He ranks in the 2nd percentile in swing and miss rate in 2025, but in the 67th percentile in strikeout rate. So these aren't necessarily signs of a decline. Philly just needs him to get hot once he returns, which, yeah, they need that. He's the guy that stirs the drink, right?
That is correct.
Bryce Harper. But again, when I read this, and then they say that they are the 6th best lineup in baseball, not 6th best team. All right, they're talking just about the lineup, so they're not talking about the rotation at all in this. They're talking about 1 through 9. I'm sorry, they're not the 6th best lineup in baseball.
Totally disagree with you.
Okay, go on.
Has the Phillies lineup overperformed or underperformed this year? Just generally as a whole, what's your gut feeling?
I would say that they've underperformed.
I agree with you. They've scored the 7th most runs in baseball.
Okay.
So you think there's a higher ceiling there. They've scored the 7 most runs.
Yeah, but they've underperformed maybe because they're heading that way. Like, again, JT Realmuto is not all of a sudden going to be 24 again. Alec Boehm is... Yeah, he has 7 home runs since the month of May. That's great. He's not going to finish with 20-plus.
No, I know. But
Brandon Marsh may be hitting okay right now, but you know his ceiling.
I got you, but you know Bryce Harper's ceiling. He hasn't remotely come close to it. I know the wrist thing is part of it.
What if he doesn't? Right. That's
but you're giving me what if he doesn't. It's Bryce Harper. There's much more to say what if he does than what if he doesn't.
No, there isn't. Not with where he's sitting right now. There's not.
What do you mean?
Not with where he's sitting on June 18th with an injury that we have no details about, and him right now we're wondering what the hell's going on.
Yeah, right. I can't point to him
and he's not going to make up for his lack of power.
I can't
in the
point
second
to
half.
him having a major injury and playing through it and being productive at any point in his Phillies tenure.
His production is not going to come back in the second half to the where he makes up for everything that he missed in the first half.
But that's the thing. It's just like the dangerousness of the lineup is still there. They're scoring runs. Like, the big issue with this team is the bullpen. The offense is underperformed. They're still 7th in baseball in runs scored. They could get better if we believe in what we think this team could be.
They could get better.
So I have no issue with them being 6th.
No.
I have they, in your opinion, been one of the 6th best hitting teams in Major League Baseball?
It's the quality of the lineup they're talking about. And I still think they're a top 6 lineup in baseball.
Is that what they're saying?
I'll read that.
What is the criteria?
How about I read the whole thing?
Yeah, what's the criteria?
Every week we gather a panel of our MLB experts to rank every team based on the combination of what we've seen so far and what we knew going into the season. Those power rankings look at teams as a whole, both at the plate and on the field. But how different would those rankings be if we were only looking at Major League offenses? We've seen a number of offensive explosions so far in 2025, from the torpedo bats taking the league by storm. That's gone away, by the way.
It has.
On opening weekend, thanks to the Yankees' barrage of home runs, to Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani each putting together another all-time campaign at the plate. Our MLB Power Rankings came together to sort baseball's lineups based on what they've seen so far and where teams currently stand. That's what it is. So statistically, to your point, Connor, then maybe they are a top 10 offense. I just think this team is underperformed, and they have not screamed top 10 offense.
This is the worst This is the worst the Phillies have been in the years of them contending to go to a World Series.
Right, but that's the problem. You guys are comparing them to your expectations of the Phillies and where we want this lineup to be. They're comparing them to baseball and what the numbers are compared to other teams. Okay. I want this team to be better, too. I think the offense is underperformed.
How many holes does this lineup have?
Yeah, I don't like this.
This lineup has a ton of holes.
Yes, they do.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Like, this lineup has a ton of holes. It's not a good lineup.
Okay.
I can't say it's not a good lineup. It is a good lineup, but a lineup with lacking right-handed power.
We have a platoon in center that is weak. We have a left fielder that is weak. We have, oh my gosh. We have a second baseman that's a black hole. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, the Bryson Stott, that's got it.
No, that's a major issue.
And that's got to turn
this.
fast.
I'm just saying, look around the rest of the league. They're top 6.
I do look around the rest. I'm the one that watches the rest of the league. You don't.
Seriously.
Oh, man. All right.
I can't get over that.
Coming up next, everyone tweeted the same thing last night. The I need to know what Castellanos said.
Everybody wants to know.
Does it really matter? And what's best for this team? We'll discuss that next. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Ricky Bo, Bill Colarulo.
Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me.
Here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic. So I jotted down some rankings for the Phillies in terms of the offensive numbers. So, again, this all comes down to what kind of offense you prefer and if you like what you see or not. Now, I don't like what I see, like, 5 through 9 on most nights.
Who does? Like, what Phillies fan is watching this team going, man, this offense is good?
But statistically, to Connor's point, they are 7th in runs. OPS, which is the big number that people like, that's like it's
a golden number these days in baseball.
It's the religion they follow in baseball. OPS, they are 8th. So top 10. Now OPS is a combination of on-base percentage and slugging. In terms of on-base percentage, they're 5th in Major League Baseball. They have the second best team batting average, and they walk a lot. They are 9th most in walks. So a top 10 walking team, second best batting average in all of baseball. But
Sounds like a good lineup.
They are 13th in home runs. They are 16th in doubles. One of the things that we have talked about in terms of flaws on this team is the lack of pop, especially on the right side. Now, you can give me that you think it could get better because they have not reached their potential, like a guy like Bryce Harper who's not played like Bryce Harper.
Because he's obviously been injured since last May.
Now, where is this right side pop coming from? We can only hope that they acquire somebody via the trade deadline. And again, that comes down to hoping Dombrowski does something.
All of that's right, man. Yeah, all of that's absolutely right. But realize the argument. It's in June. We are talking about the 6th best lineup in baseball. I don't think that's a baseless claim by that article that you read. And I'm not saying they're not without flaws. And I agreed with you guys that they've underperformed. But their numbers indicate that they are as good as those rankings say they are.
Do you think, and this there's a promo running right now about the Mike Missanelli show with Ray Dunn. And I don't necessarily disagree with Ray. He's tired of all the singles. I get we want to get on base and all that kind of stuff. That is important, but you got to drive the baseball.
Yeah, dude, I hate small ball.
Alec Boehm is their 3-hitter right now because of Bryce Harper's absence.
Alec Boehm,
and he might still be the 3-hole hitter when Harper returns, depending on how the day of the lineup. Right? Like, I need a little bit more.
No, I know. I need more too. 6 isn't. You're not. 6 is not good enough. But 6 is where they are. I want them top 2 or 3. Their payroll should have them that. They should be that. If they want to be World Series contenders, they're going to have to turn into that. They're not that now, but they are 6th to me. That's not crazy, okay? There's another level above that they need to get to. But I think you guys are being too negative because of the perception of what this team needs to be in October.
Well, they might need to be that in October.
I agree, but where we're at right now, they are where they are. I think 6 is a fair spot.
All right. There's a lot. YouTube is all over the place in terms of this conversation.
Really, what's that? Like both sides?
Yeah, both sides. Mopar, who is a very, very big Phillies fan.
Okay, and and he follows them tightly.
And he's in agreement that they're 6th. And somebody complained that we're talking about Nick Castellanos today, and if the Phillies won the World Series, we'd talk about Castellanos the next day. I don't know where you're getting that from at all.
What?
But then there's people that are upset with the lineup construction. Tommy John, as there's lack of pop on the right side. Boehm stinks. Now, Boehm does not stink.
No, Boehm has been their best hitter for 6 weeks.
But if you believe that your corner infielder needs to have like 25 home runs, I would agree with you. Or you need somebody else to pick up that workload from the pop standpoint, and they don't have anybody on this team that's doing that. So, it's just I don't like the way this lineup's built. And I've been saying that since the beginning.
I don't like it.
Yeah, but that's personal preference. That's not results-based.
You need to have pop in order to win a World Series. You're not going to slap your way to a World Series.
Right, and now that's a blanket statement that we all agree with that they can work on at the trade deadline. Like, I'm not fighting you on any of this. You're just being too critical.
I got to tell you, I think it's head in the sand. I think it's head in the sand. Looking at this team and watching this team on a daily basis and going, yeah, come on, this team, they're like sixth. They're like this team's look, they're going to round into shape and they're better, and they're the fact that believing there's 24 teams that are worse off than them, I don't believe it. And again, numbers can lie, and I don't believe it, and I don't believe that's the way it'll show out, and I don't believe it is shown out that way with this team this year.
Where's your gut ranking on where the Phillies should be?
I'd say around 10, maybe a little outside.
10, yeah.
They're one spot away from being a top 5 offense in Major League Baseball. They do not scream top 5 offense.
No, not at all.
Now
they're sixth.
Now again, they're going off of statistics, which I get it. They're doing a whole league-wide thing, so they're going to base a lot of it off statistics because they can't watch the rest of the league, just like how we don't watch the rest of the league on a given night, right?
Right.
I'm the loser that watches Astros-Tigers the other night.
You do.
You watch or Astros-White Sox.
You watch more out of market games than both of us do.
Yeah, I have a really exciting life.
You're a goober. You're a goober.
When I'm watching this Phillies team and I see the flaws of this Phillies team, it does not scream, whether it's statistic-based or not, a top 6 offense in Major League Baseball.
Correct.
And I don't think they get to that point unless they acquire somebody. And I don't know who they're going to acquire that's all of a sudden going to make them this huge jump.
And what are they going to acquire it with?
What do you mean?
That's like
they have pieces.
They have prospects.
Okay, but that are going to acquire. But what are you going to acquire? What are you going to get?
You could get a really, really good player with the prospects the Phillies have if they're willing to part with them, which we don't
like. Right now, is like I keep saying Aiden Miller right now. People talking about Aiden Miller. And then you watch MLB Network and people are like, Aiden Miller's stock last year at the trade deadline was higher than Aiden Miller's stock is going to be this year at the trade deadline.
Right, but it's not just
people
Miller.
have gotten a year of him.
You have Painter, you have Abel, you have Crawford.
Well, but you don't want to give up Painter. And does anybody want to give up Abel right now?
They don't want to give up any of them, but you might have to.
You might have to in terms of somebody's going to be blocked, and you need to give up something to get something.
I'm not giving up Painter. I'm absolutely not.
Right, but not giving
not when I know that Wheeler's retiring in 2 seasons, and Nola is a train wreck. I'm not doing that.
I got you.
I'm not giving up either one of those guys.
Yeah. But it doesn't mean they don't have the pieces.
All right. Coming up next, we'll reset today's topics. We'll play the Rob Thompson audio from yesterday and also read you the Nick Castellanos quotes. We'll get text messages on this. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
The win streak comes to an end. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies lost to the Marlins last night 8-3, ending their 5-game win streak. Another streak came to an end as well. Nick Castellanos' consecutive start streak. He sat last night after making what Rob Thompson said was an inappropriate comment when being taken out of Monday night's game for a defensive replacement. Here was Thompson pregame talking about his decision.
One of the many things about Nick that I love is that he's very emotional. He loves to play, and he loves to play every inning of every game. I just thought last night he made an inappropriate comment after he came out, and so today he's not going to play.
We don't really have a lot of information past that on the situation. We'll keep you updated if more comes out. We do know the Phillies are back on the diamond tonight down in South Florida, 6:40 p.m. first pitch against the Marlins. Ranger Suarez is on the mound against Adam Mazer. The Florida Panthers have completed the repeat. They won the Stanley Cup last night over the Edmonton Oilers down in Florida. The Thunder are looking to do the same over the Pacers. They'll play tomorrow night. Oklahoma City wins. They're champs. This update is brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app today. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the NBA Finals in Philadelphia, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Texting, the easiest and most convenient way to communicate.
Texting, when you want to be heard.
Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, walking on the sand, no care, surfing in the sun, so free, just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue, waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, walking on the sand, no care, surfing in the sun, so free, just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue, waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, walking on the sand, no care, surfing in the sun, so free, just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue, waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, walking on the sand, no care, surfing in the sun, so free, just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue, waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach.
5 The Fanatic. All right, let's get back to our text line after we replay Topper and we read you the Nick Castellanos quotes, because obviously the big story today is the fact that Nick Castellanos was benched yesterday. And Nick Castellanos, according to him, he was the one that said it himself before even Rob Thompson spoke. He said that he made an inappropriate comment to Rob Thompson after he was pulled from the game. Johan Rojas went in for a defensive replacement in Monday's game against the Marlins. And Nick Castellanos said he spoke his mind because he didn't like it. And Rob Thompson thought he crossed the line, and that's why he got benched. Here was Topper yesterday talking about it himself.
Well, last night, one of the many things about Nick that I love is that he's very emotional. He loves to play, and he loves to play every inning of every game. I just thought last night he made an inappropriate comment after he came out, and so today he's not going to play. And I'm going to leave it at that.
And as you have said, and as I think everybody says, he's the manager. He has the right to make this decision, but you're not necessarily thrilled with how it went down.
No, I'm not. I'm not thrilled because of all the things that he doesn't react to that are public. This didn't have to be public. None of us saw it. None of us noticed it. The Phillies broadcasters didn't notice it. It wasn't public to any of the media that covered the team. They didn't know it. So it didn't have to be a public incident. It could have been something that behind the scenes was handled. Well, I mean, that's sort of what I would wish would have happened.
And what we are trying to figure out is what obviously could have been said where it crossed this line.
And the thing is, but again, Rob is fully 100% within his rights to have done what he did.
Yeah, but you don't like it.
No, I don't, because I would have.
And that's why I'm trying to figure out what I'm saying you don't like.
Because of the fact, and I've told you over and over, I can't tell you anymore. I mean, I'll say it one more time, and I'll give it to you again.
Well, it's 9 o'clock. There's new listeners, John.
I watched it in person in my career, working for pro sports teams, embedded with pro sports teams, in locker rooms, saw coaches and players go at it, saw players where the player instigates an attack on the coach, where the player literally goes out of his way to be sort of a disrespectful of the coach. And it was always handled in-house. And I'm talking about every time that I saw it. And sometimes it ended up with the coach being aggressive back at the player. And I said we had Rick Tocchet on the show just the other day. Rick Tocchet could tell you stories of playing for Mike Keenan. And Mike Keenan had incidents where players got aggressive with him, and he got aggressive right back. And it was absolutely over the line what the players came after him with to Mike. Over the line. But Mike loved to push buttons. And Mike took it, gave back, and it was as if it never happened. It was as if it just went, because the public didn't know about it. They didn't know about it. And I told you about an incident at spring training with a Major League Baseball manager, a Hall of Fame manager, and Bobby Cox, and something I witnessed where Bobby Cox literally then came out to everybody, and there was media around and everything, and said, and nobody better be talking about this. And the implication was everybody witnessed this incident between a star player and a manager, and the implication was if anyone takes this public, if you're a media member, you're screwed because you'll never get access again. So, I mean, it's like this didn't have to be public.
Yeah, I think this was something where it crossed a line that Rob Thompson has set.
Okay, and I'm just saying my line would be a lot further.
All right,
the people that I've observed, their line was a lot further.
But you can't say that without knowing what the comment is.
Okay, it could. I'm going to just say it. I mean, it had to be really bad.
Yeah, maybe it was.
So then you can't say your line's a lot further.
Well, I'm going to say it had to be really, really bad then.
Like, I want to bring something up because we all like Nick Sirianni and the way he handles his team, right?
We do.
Like, I've had no problem.
No. No, I don't like how he handles the team sometimes. His behavior.
I got you. But in general, good coach, successful,
very
players like him.
Sure.
Jalen Carter was late and got suspended by the Eagles this past season. That didn't have to be public.
Well, he didn't get suspended. He didn't start. He didn't
get suspended. He got benched for.
Well, okay, benched
for a series.
Whatever, same thing. Benched. Exact situation. Didn't have to be public. They made it public. We had no issue then.
Because he made it. Because Nick Sirianni has also been a guy who has held people accountable, and he also talks about accountability. And they talk about public accountability within the team. And after he was held accountable by his owner, he came out the day after the meltdown versus the Browns and the meltdown versus the Colts. And after he was held accountable behind the scenes, he let us in behind the curtain and said, I have to be better. That wasn't work. That wasn't good.
Right.
I need
but
to be
Rob
better.
Thompson's never done anything where
No, he hasn't.
He would
that
need
is
to,
correct.
He would need to do something like that.
I'm answering his example about Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, so the problem is Rob Thompson hasn't done it before, but you've been asking for him to do it. So would you rather him just not hold players accountable for anything?
No, what I'm asking is the stuff that we see, Connor, this is not hard.
No, it is very hard.
No, it isn't. The stuff that we see I have asked him to be accountable for.
Okay.
The stuff that we see that is unacceptable, the stuff that we have seen coaches and managers in this town for years not find acceptable. Lack of hustle, lack of intelligent play, that they have literally taken players off the field for or been willing to, after the game, say, I don't care if it's a star player, that's not good enough. That public stuff that they are not willing to call, that he's not willing to call that out and let it be known. The public stuff is what I've said over and over with Rob.
Right. Can you open your mind to the possibility that maybe something that is in front of the rest of the team is more important than what's in front of the fan base?
The thing is that's not in front of the fan base.
Yeah, why is the fan base more important than the team?
It's in front of the team. A lack of hustle is in front of the team. It's the definition of in front of the team. When star players don't hustle, that is the definition of being in front of the team because the other guys don't feel the need.
I know. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this was also in front of the team.
But
so if the team is the most important thing, which it should be because they're all that matters. Like, all due respect to the fan base. I love you guys. I'm one of you.
So you
but
address
the team cares more.
So you bring it in the locker room. You've heard many times, Connor, of the locker room is closed. They're having a meeting.
Yes.
Or you're going to have media access will be delayed today by 10 minutes. They're having a meeting. And it's not always for a bad reason.
Right.
Sometimes for something. That happens all the time. The manager calls everybody in and goes, y'all heard what happened yesterday. Nick and I have talked about it. That isn't happening again. What happened was completely unacceptable. But it doesn't have to be on NBC Sports Philadelphia tonight or on that stupid morning show with that loudmouth. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't have to be a public thing because it wasn't public.
If benching is the punishment, it's public.
But we also don't, again,
but
we
it didn't
don't
have
know
to be a benching.
We don't know if this has happened before. Again, this could be, who knows, maybe the last time something like this happened, somebody spoke out and Rob Thompson said, hey, I'm the manager, I make the decisions. They do a lot of platoonings, right? They do a lot of defensive replacements. They do this stuff all the time.
I believe one of them yesterday, since they both spoke about it very openly, about what happened, I believe one of them would have told us if this was, I had to deal with it because it was a repeat issue. Both of them were very open about what was being disciplined.
Well, they both Castellanos agreed to the punishment.
Oh, he did.
And Rob Thompson even dropped the we'll leave it at that line.
And he did not.
So maybe they don't want to go too much into it.
Yeah, I don't think they want to go any more to it. I guarantee you this.
Which I'm fine with them. It's public because, again, he got benched. That's why it's public. But
yes,
the fact that they just left it the way that it was, I was totally fine with it.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't think that to me, I don't go 0 to 60 and with, like, you gave up the parenting thing.
Yes.
I don't do I don't believe in like the 0 to 60 parenting.
Right, I got you.
Let things go, let things go, then boom.
But you had certain things were the non-negotiables.
Absolutely.
By the way, you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPN, WP, and HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. How do we not know that there wasn't a non-negotiable that he crossed the line of?
That could be a non-negotiable, almost assumed with like everybody. Maybe you never know.
Maybe and he's got to stand by it.
Yeah,
I don't think
it feels like you're accepting assumptions that fit your side of the argument and rejecting the ones that we have.
No,
that's just what it feels like.
Because I'm not. Because I accept it as my premise at the very beginning of the show, and I've said it 3 other times where maybe you've missed it. I've said it over and over. Rob has every right to do what he did.
That's not what we're talking about.
But you're not happy with the decision.
No, I can be unhappy with the decision.
Yes,
Why can't I be unhappy with it?
I'm not saying, but like it's almost
wait a minute. Why do I have to be happy with it?
But it's another critique of Rob Thompson. You don't like that he pulls a pitcher too early. You don't like when he leaves a pitcher in too late. There's a lot of Rob Thompson.
And then there's a lot of Rob Thompson that I praise too.
I know you do, but I think it's also there might be a lot of people out there that agree with you, John. I'm not saying that you're on an island.
The bottom line is that I give Rob Thompson first off the bat today in this entire discussion. Nick Castellanos is wrong. That's where this discussion begins. Nick Castellanos is the one who caused the entire damn thing.
Yes.
He's wrong. He is the one who's in the wrong.
So then just leave it at that,
We just have different ideas. No, because we have different ideas about how public it has to be and whether it ever had to lead to whatever it has to lead to. I don't believe things have to lead to a benching.
But again, that's based on a unfull understanding of what was said. We don't know the situation.
We don't.
We can't say that he didn't cross a line enough needing to be benched. If he's going to be benched, it has to be public because the media knows he's not playing.
Like if John, let's you and I, right?
Okay.
You and I have a disagreement on a guest. Right, I texted you yesterday about somebody that
I know that Andrew DeCecco guy. Get rid of him.
And
I thought that was supposed. You see now, Connor, why'd you make that public?
Now it's one thing.
My bad.
It's one thing if the conversation was, I don't think that's a good idea. It's another thing if it's, well, you, John.
Well, the thing is,
you know what I mean? Which,
but here's the thing:
we don't know. That could have been what it was.
But here's where it is, and this is maybe where we differ. I fully expect. We have not had one yet.
No, I know.
I fully expect at some point in our relationship, there will be a point where we get mad at each other about something. And we maybe raise our voices at each other. Or we maybe get angry with each other and somebody says something that they wish they didn't say.
Isn't that the whole show?
No, but I mean, I think that's
that's
life.
just toward you.
I think that's life. And you know what it does with me? It rolls right off my back.
Yeah, but again, we don't.
I don't know, but that's different.
Maybe they've had 10 spats
but I'm
before.
coming to the discussion or the debate differently. Like that would roll off my back because I would say, here, I would do your T-chart, and I'd go, I got 325 shows of Andrew Salciunas going, dude, he's got grace.
Yeah, but your T-chart.
He's got grace.
Your T-chart when it comes to Topper is very weighted toward one side.
No, it's not, though. It isn't. No, I got a lot that I admire the guy for.
It's a backslash chart.
I got a lot that I admire him for. And I say it all the time.
Your email T-chart was a one side.
Well, that's because it's on one issue. That's on one issue.
All right. Oops.
And it is lopsided on this one issue.
It is very lopsided. Again, it's not even a T at this point. All right, coming up next.
It's more like an F.
We have our 5 best minutes of Adam Schefter. We'll sneak in a text message before that. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Ricky Bo, Bill Colarulo,
Aaron Nola as a...
Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun. the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, walking on the sand, no care, surfing in the sun, so free, just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue, waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, walking on the sand, no care, surfing in the sun, so free, just the beach, the waves and me.
Team here on Kincade Salciunas 97.5 The Fanatic. Before we get to our 5 best minutes of Adam Schefter, who joined us earlier this morning on Wednesday, give us a text message, Connor, because I'm curious how many people have been chiming in about this Nick Castellanos discussion.
All right, so Vashon in Coatesville says if you have a heated discussion, it can't be in the dugout. That stays between player and manager if you don't. But the fact it happened in the dugout means there has to be consequences.
Now, I'm sure there's been disagreements in the dugout before. There was no
There are disagreements.
There
all
was
the
no
time.
look now. There was no like physical altercation.
Nobody saw it.
Like there was no needing to break up the
No
two.
Papelbon
At
here.
least, yeah. Like unless
if
somehow a camera missed that, which that's never missed.
If it's public, I totally get the texter's opinion. If it was public, if NBC Sports Philadelphia catches it, then I totally get it. If one of the beat writers writes about it afterwards, there appeared to be an incident when Nick Castellanos left the field, I totally get it. And I'm on board.
Maybe the worst thing for Castellanos was that it was in the Marlins Stadium.
Well, no.
Maybe
everyone could hear.
Everybody
No.
could hear, right? There
No.
was 15 people in that building.
I actually think part of that, and I said it to you before, reportedly, Nick, with over 100 tickets bought over the 4 games, with family and friends from Miami,
yeah.
maybe Nick, to play both sides of the story, maybe a little up in his feelings about being pulled out of a game and potentially missing another at bat, which, by the way, I don't really know why you're pulling him out of the game to put in Rojas in a game that, in a 3-1 game where you might lose his at bat. Like, to me, maybe he was up in his feelings about that a little bit and overreacted. That could very well have led to that too. Not excusing it.
No,
because if he's the one who's in the wrong, not Rob Thompson. Nick's the one who's in the wrong for causing that. That should never have happened.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
All right. It is time now for our 5 best minutes from Adam Schefter. From ESPN, Adam Schefter joins us. Shefty, good morning.
Good morning, Andrew and John. How are we doing?
Good
We
day
are
today.
now awaiting training camp, so we got some time. So I'll ask you, is this one of the scariest times for NFL organizations now until the start of training camp, making sure everybody is good to go for the return of camp?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you worry about that when, they're not in a building and no structure, no regimen. That's fun. But I think, I don't know, maybe I'm older, but I just feel like we're in a different day and age. I think people are smarter. I think people are more aware. It's not to say that people don't do dumb things sometimes. Of course they do. But I just think sometimes that there's a heightened awareness that there's been so much education that's been instilled in these young men, and they've watched so many things unfold, good and bad, that I like to think, and maybe I'm being naive, that people are just a little bit savvier about making smarter decisions. Now, watch that blow up in my face here in the next few weeks. Certainly could happen. But, look, there's always going to be things that happen and go wrong and people make mistakes. But it doesn't feel to me over the last 4, 5, 6 years like there have been quite as many as there used to be. Which, by the way, in a day and age where there's more scrutiny than ever before, I think it's even more impressive.
I think with guys like Andrew and his age group, they don't remember when guys used to come to training camp to get into shape and to play themselves into shape. That nowadays in the NFL, and you've seen it over your evolution of being with the game, now these players, it's a completely different sort of mindset. I think there's a more professional approach all year long, the 12 months of the year, to being ready to go.
And to add to that, John, these guys are entering a professional world sooner than they ever have. They're being paid in college. And so they recognize there's money to be had there. So maybe they're putting more emphasis on training or nutrition or behavior or appearances or relationships, even in college, maybe even in high school. I'm just telling you, I had at one point in time, a high school player called me. He's like, hey, if I go to Michigan, would you tweet my announcer? I'm like, I don't really do that very often, but that means something to you and you want to announce it, that's fine. And so, I don't know, like a month later, I hear from one of this guy's representatives who I never hear from, like in the NFL, and I'm like, what's going on? He goes, hey, I just want to make sure you're going to be tweeting the announcement of that kid. Like, holy cow. Like, you work? Yeah, we've been working on this since high school.
Wow.
So, it's a different world. I think people are more aware and savvier. Again, people still will make mistakes, and people still will do things that they shouldn't in the next month when they're off. But I really do believe that the percentage of that has gone down in recent years, and I think your explanation is a perfectly logical one, that they're trained to be more professional, think more professional at a younger age than ever before.
Is it recency bias on my part, Adam, that it seemed like the June 1st cut date this year, post-June 1st cuts was sort of a nothing burger this year? Yeah. And I wonder is that because of more flexibility with the cap, that maybe there's just less, teams aren't as tight up against the cap and maybe there aren't as many? And are there still names out there that you think are going to become bigger stories as we get towards training camp?
Well, first of all, I think there were fewer June 1 cuts, and I think it is in part because the cap has gone up, and I think it's in part because teams are very wise about how they address these contracts year-round. They don't just wait the way they're structured in advance. And by the way, like, there's some June 1st cuts that we hear about earlier. They're just executed. It's a whole combination of factors, but there still are a number of interesting names on the street. Now, if you're a player on the street right now, there's probably a pretty good reason for it. So, I know that we all will get, worked up when Von Miller signs or Keenan Allen signs, or some of these guys who still are on the street. And there are some interesting names, but they've been out there for a long time. And if they're out there this long, either their price was too high or their skills have dropped off or some combination of the both. And so while they're big names and they'll generate some conversation if and when they do sign, I don't know how much of an impact anybody at this time of the year is going to make. There might be, a few guys that break through and really make an impact in the difference, but by and large, that's not usually the case.
Schefter, what's the next big national story now that Aaron Rodgers is finally signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers? Obviously, we will be following along to see how that goes. But what's the next big national story that we're going to be keeping a close eye on?
Well, I think I'll give myself cover here, and I'll just say when the pass rushers are paid, right? Because Trey Hendrickson's still upset with the Bengals, hasn't reported. T.J. Watt staying away from Pittsburgh, and we're waiting for Micah Parsons to become the highest paid defensive player in NFL history, which is what I expect that deal to be done. The highest, like beating Myles Garrett.
Wow.
So,
wow.
Oh, yeah. That's where it's going. And I don't know whether that gets done in a week or a month or right before the season, but Micah Parsons will set a new bar, and at that point in time, the Dallas Cowboys will have the highest paid player in football in Dak Prescott and the highest paid defensive player in football. And look, Myles Garrett right now got the deal, right? Like, he got the big deal this past offseason, became the highest paid defensive player. And from the age of 26 to 29, over the last 4 years, Myles Garrett had 216 quarterback pressures and 286 pass rush wins. 216 to 86. Micah Parsons, age 22 to 25, so 4 years younger than Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett's numbers are 216 to 86. Micah Parsons, 251 pressures, 310 pass rush wins. 251, 310.
Man.
216, 286, a player 4 years younger. I will say it again, Micah Parsons is going to become the highest paid defensive player in football history.
You realize there's a lot of people in Eagles country that have always said, because Micah seems a little obsessed with the Eagles.
He loves the Eagles.
On his podcast and on draft night and things like that. The people have always thought, he's going to end up being an Eagle. It's obvious from your comments, he's not going to end up being an Eagle.
No, he's going to end up becoming the highest paid defensive player in NFL history.
Wow.
All right, there's our 5 best minutes of Schefter.
That's huge.
Yeah, it was great information from Schefter. You can check it out, 975thefanatic.com, as well as our YouTube page. Coming up next, we stick with football. We'll get to some of our Castellanos, Rob Thompson texts, but Jeremy Fowler, he does this every single year where he speaks with executives and scouts about, best roster, best draft, which we've already gone through, best players, right?
Right.
They did one on the best off-season moves.
Okay.
Where he polled people around the NFL. We'll go through that coming up next. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Castellanos benched. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies lost to the Marlins 8-3 last night down in Miami. Bullpen, not good. 4 runs given up over 3 innings worth of work. But the big story from yesterday was Nick Castellanos was benched for the game after inappropriate comments made after being pulled from Monday's game for a defensive replacement. Here's what Rob Thompson had to say about the decision.
One of the many things about Nick that I love is that he's very emotional. He loves to play, and he loves to play every inning of every game. I just thought last night he made an inappropriate comment after he came out, and so today he's not going to play.
We'll keep you updated on that story as it continues to develop, and if we hear anything about what the actual incident was, is that the Phils will be back in action tonight regardless at 6:40. They'll face the Marlins again. Ranger Suarez on the mound against Adam Mazer in the pitching matchup. The Florida Panthers have completed the repeat. They won the Stanley Cup last night over the Oilers down there in Florida. The Thunder are going to try and do the same for the NBA Finals. Tomorrow night, they can clinch the NBA Finals if they take down the Pacers. So you can hear that game live here on The Fanatic. This update's brought to you by Payday, packed with peanuts and filled with golden caramel. Payday is one hard-working candy bar, so grab one now to power you through the day. Payday peanut caramel bar. Get to it. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the NBA Finals in Philadelphia, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Sunny days and ocean blue, waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun. Sunny days and ocean blue, waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun. Sunny days and ocean blue, waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun. Sunny days and ocean blue, waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, walking on the sand, no calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me.
Company.
Uh-oh.
Is there a mouse in it again?
No. By the way, I love our vending machine guys. Really nice dude.
Really nice dude.
I just got my the Nature Valley bar. Right. There's an uptick in price. I get it, inflation. Everyone's trying to make a living.
Granola
Okay.
ain't cheap.
Inflation's actually down, so the price hasn't gone down.
Originally, or most recently, I should say, it was $1.75.
For a granola bar?
Yeah, it's horrible. John.
For that size?
Yeah, well, there's two pieces.
Well, it's a vending machine. They know
Okay,
they got
They
you.
know that
Go
they
to
got
the supermarket
you. Yes.
and buy them.
Yeah, well, I wasn't. I can't go
Okay.
to the supermarket right now, John.
I know. Just you know you like them.
They raised the price. I would rather you raise the price from $1.75 to $2 even.
Oh, they went $1.80?
$1.80. So now I have 4 nickels.
Why don't you pay with your
Literally.
credit card?
The thing was down.
Oh, well, then that's
Sir, yeah, but good thing
That's not
I
good.
carry cash on me.
Literally nickeling and diming
I
you.
would rather you raise the price to $2 even though that is ridiculous, $2 for a damn granola bar, than $1.80 so that I have 4 nickels. What am I going to do with this?
I'm trying to think of I've got some cash on me, but I don't. I can't remember the last time I put cash in a vending machine.
I did it 2 minutes ago.
I don't use vending machines often. But if I
What
do,
a tragedy. Are you sure you're good?
What do I do? What do I do with this?
you give it to
Nothing's 20 cents.
Give it to your grandchild
Who?
when they come over.
Who's that?
When your grandchild
My
comes over.
grandchild.
Yeah, when your grandchild comes over.
hope I have at least 20 years.
I'm going to say,
Minimum until that happens.
Doesn't your grandchild? I'm going to say, when you give them their Werther's Original.
Yeah. 20 cents.
Well, when you're driving home, oh yeah, you don't live in the city, but just like give it to someone like a homeless guy.
Okay, you seem, Andrew, of anybody at the station, seems like somebody who would have a change bucket.
No.
Or a change
My dad
dish.
does, though. So I could add it to his change. He's got the water cooler.
Yeah, happy belated
The
Father's
big, like,
Day.
water,
Yeah.
the water,
Yeah.
like Deer Park.
Yes.
thing.
Yeah, he's got one of those.
I used to have one for pennies back in the day.
I just like, what am I going to do with this now? Anyways.
I don't know, dude. Figure it out. You're a grown man.
All right, what do we got on the text?
$1.80.
What do we got? What do we got on the text line?
Okay, so Phil in Jersey.
Hey, you know what? No, fine. Here you go.
You're going to give it to Connor? Go bring it in to Connor. Give it into Connor.
Okay, I'm just going to re-gift it to Ray Dunn as soon as you get
give
in
it to Nate. Nate's on more of a fixed income.
And now he's wired. Here he comes.
Come on, Nate's more of a fixed income.
Thank
There
you.
go.
I appreciate it.
Oh, I heard the sound of it.
One drop.
You heard the sound of it, too, which is great.
I appreciate it. Straight cash, homie.
That was great. We heard the sound of it.
So let's go to the text line. Thank you for the 20 cents, Andrew. I appreciate
Yeah, let me know
it.
what you buy with it, big guy.
There you go.
Hopefully some peace and quiet from you two. Phil from Jersey checks in on this Rob Thompson thing. And he says, disagreeing with Rob's decision is one thing, John, but disagreeing because you'd have handled it differently without knowing what was said seems silly to me.
Okay, well, none of us know what's said, so we shouldn't discuss it then. This shouldn't be discussed by anybody then. This is what we do.
We got benched.
We discuss it as far as, and when we discuss about getting benched, my discussion on him getting benched is this is a guy who never benches anybody. Anyone. He allows lackadaisical play. He allows lack of hustle. He allows terrible base running. And he just sits there and stares off
Which
into
is
space.
why we say
And there
clearly
isn't.
this crossed the line.
No, well, clearly
if it led to
here's
him
what
getting benched.
Here's what I would want. Hopefully, these are the paddles. These are the paddles that wake the man up. And now we see, since he's so into accountability, we now see a man who is going to maybe start holding the public things that we actually see. That we see him holding the public things accountable.
Well,
that we actually hear him, that we say, hey, if we see star players not running out ground balls, that he actually starts to hold them accountable. That he says, you know what? Maybe you don't play tomorrow night. Maybe you don't start tomorrow night, and we talk about it. And we say, we're going to be a team that hustles because that's what we're about. And that now, if we're holding the stuff that we don't see accountable, that now Rob will be a guy, the stuff that we do see, he'll hold it accountable.
Well,
that would make me very pleased.
That would be a contradiction of the way he's previously managed the team. And maybe he wants to keep a consistent
Well, this was
message.
a contradiction to anything
It was
we've
not, because he benched Alec Boehm for behavioral stuff in a postseason series.
This was a behavioral benching.
His team, Alec Boehm's teammates, I think, got him benched.
Well, did Nick Castellanos' teammates get him benched?
Yeah, we don't know.
That was not sort of brought to the forefront. It was sort of brought to the forefront that the team sort of brought.
Well, that eventually came out,
Alec
right?
Boehm. Yeah, that Alec Boehm was.
Maybe this
that was right off the
but
rip.
maybe this
We're one
eventually.
day in.
Maybe this eventually comes out.
It could be eventually, and if it did, I'd be glad to acknowledge that it did. But I'm not today going to be like, well, now because he told us one story, Rob told us a story, and Nick told us a story. So I'm going to base that's what happened. That it was between Nick and it was between Rob.
By the way, Andrew Ellis checks in on YouTube.
What's up, Andrew?
It's called a change container, Chunas. Wild invention. I don't have change.
I don't carry change.
Like I have my credit card. I have some cash. If I have the ability to tip something, I will tip it so that's an even flat money, so that I'm not getting any coins back. All right. I can't tip a vending machine.
Ooh, I got a new nickname, Andrew Sal Change Purse. No,
now that's
back
not
to the
bad.
drawing board.
See, now that's not bad.
I thought that one sucked.
See, I don't think that's bad at all.
That was okay.
All right,
C plus.
Jeremy Fowler spoke with executives and scouts around the NFL. He does this every single summer. It's great. I remember we had him on last year just to talk about one of them. The best moves, according to scouts and executives around the National Football League.
Okay.
The Titans acquiring Cam Ward. Okay, that's a draft pick.
Okay.
The Jets bringing in Aaron Glenn as the head coach to try to fix the culture. Okay. And Justin Fields at quarterback. Sure.
All right.
The Rams signed Devontae Adams after losing Cooper Kupp.
Okay, so another old.
Puka Nacua.
They're going old with Devontae Adams.
Commanders acquiring Laramie Tunsil. I don't think that was a bad move for them at all.
The worst offensive lineman in the NFL last year.
In terms of what penalties, you said?
Penalties and giving up sacks.
Oh, and sacks. All right.
Yeah, so I don't get that one.
The Browns, the haul they got for trading back from 2 to 5.
Okay.
The best of both worlds, both teams win. Raiders get Geno Smith and Seahawks get Sam Darnold. Sure. The Raiders are now going to win 6 games, and the Seahawks are going to probably still be right around the same.
I think the Raiders are going to be better, but that's okay.
I really don't, but we'll see how it plays out. George Pickens to the Cowboys is like the first one I go, yeah, good move for the Cowboys as long as he doesn't,
Well, he's going to
lose his marbles.
He's going to lose his marbles, but it's still a good move for the Cowboys.
Number 1, Rodgers to the Steelers.
Wow.
It depends on how you look at it. Is he better than Mason Rudolph?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, he is.
But is this going to do anything in the long run for them? No.
Are they going to win a Super Bowl now?
No.
Are they a Super Bowl contender? No.
Yeah, but based on the quality of moves this offseason, I think that to me really shows it's been a quiet offseason.
Right. Like it kind of and Schefter kind of said it too. Like,
you think it's because of the cap?
Maybe.
You think it's because of all the money there is now?
You can manipulate it a little bit more.
And teams can trade players and teams can sign their own guys. I love the fact that the cap going up allows teams to sign their own players.
Right.
That's what I love most about the cap money going up.
Unless you're Cincinnati.
And you just don't want to.
Yeah.
You're diametrically opposed to it.
But these are the people inside football.
Wow. Rodgers? Come on.
Doesn't do it for me. All right, coming up next, we'll check a couple more of our text messages. We have our key 3. And, of course, we hand things over at 10 o'clock to the Mike Missanelli Show.
And Amy.
Here. And Amy, that's right, on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Philadelphia Union Soccer.
William Piper Lager. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach.
I heard the change has already been moved and passed on.
I gave it to Ray Dunn.
Didn't he say, "Oh, it's changed. Figure out something to do with it. You're an adult. You're a big boy."
I figured out something to do with it. I gave it to Ray.
Wow.
Yeah.
My gosh.
What? That's all I was telling you to do.
By the way, what do you think of other fans? This is something that's a peeve for me.
Okay.
Other fans posting crap, mocking the Edmonton Oilers that aren't the Florida Panthers. Rivals of the Edmonton Oilers mocking them for losing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, to me,
they did better than your team.
If they're better than your team, shut up.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, if you're a Florida Panther fan, you got hand. You get to mock them. If they're the best team in their conference, every other team in the conference, shh, you shush.
Yeah, I root for the downfall teams, but like when the 49ers talked all that talked and then backed it up,
right?
Like there's nothing I could
There's
say.
nothing you be quiet. You go sit at the kids' table. They're the champs of the conference.
Yeah, but if the Cowboys lost the Super Bowl, I'd be tweeting Cowboys stuff the next day.
See, I wouldn't. Not if the Eagles
If the Cowboys
sucked.
beat the Eagles en route to a Super Bowl, we can't talk.
Right, if the Eagles...
Yeah, but if Dak
Eagles,
Prescott threw like 4 picks in the Super Bowl.
No, you can laugh that happened,
Yeah,
but you're not mocking Cowboy fans because then they're like, "Where were you? Oh, you were watching the Super Bowl."
Yeah, like you lose.
That's fine.
You lose right away. That argument.
Yeah, but they don't win.
Yeah, but no, they do win.
Fine.
I think it's fine.
If there's a Flyers fan ripping an Edmonton Oilers fan today, it's
like
sick rebuild.
USA, Canada. We've got the Stanley Cup
Now,
for
you
like
see
32 straight years.
that you've got.
Fair game.
It's great. I love that one.
Yeah, but
I
my
love
team has
that.
had nothing to do with that over the last 30 years, so what do I care?
I enjoy the fact that Canada hasn't had it too.
Yeah.
It pains them.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
I'm pro. Talk your trash whenever you want. It's fun.
Yeah, I'm not as far as that's concerned. You gotta have something. Whoever you have talked trash on, you've got the advantage on. You're better than that. Like right now, Mets. I've been silent this year. The Mets they got the Phillies on a leash for now. Until the Phillies change that. Until the Phillies change that narrative, they get that was a spanking last year. That was an embarrassment last year.
Yeah.
We went off with a whimper.
Yeah, but still, Mets suck.
We went off and pooped in the corner.
I'll still yell at a Mets fan. You guys can be in my mentions.
So it's too much.
All right. Oh man, it's list season.
Oh no. My favorite time of year.
I'll save this for tomorrow.
My favorite time of year.
I'll tease it for tomorrow.
No, wait a minute. When do the stations? You always know when do the Mount Rushmore start?
Oh,
that's when you know
it's already happening.
Oh, jeez.
Pete Prisco did his top 100 players.
Okay.
In the NFL, and thanks to Jeff Kerr did his own story of just the Eagles that were in the top.
Okay, now that's a good one then. Okay,
so we'll go through that coming up tomorrow.
See, now Jeff takes a list and then makes it a Eagle-centric story. That's good.
Exactly. And that's why we'll use his
work
tomorrow. All right, what do we got on the text line, Connor? Obviously, you can text the show at 610-632-0975.
All right, so we didn't really get too far into this. I forget why, but the conversation as to whether or not we want to know what Castellanos said. I think Tim from Delaware brings up a good point on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
He says, we should not want to know what Castellanos said. Nothing good comes from knowing. Either he said something really bad and could change the way how we see him as a teammate or a player in the city, or he said something so mild, we wonder why he sat and we're mad at Rob Thompson. Either way, it's a distraction. We just need to move on and allow the team to do the same.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that just staying in-house. I'm totally fine.
Okay, I think that is a really wise texter because both of those points are extremely valid. Like there isn't a ton to be gained from it as far as what was said.
Yeah, because
there isn't a ton to be gained.
Then you can spin it either way to the texter's point. Like it's either something really mild where it's, oh my God, you would ruin this guy's streak over this, or it's something so bad where people start hating Nick Castellanos.
Now, for content purposes, though, tell us.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, none of us want to. But the thing is, though, none of us wants to hate Nick Castellanos or Rob Thompson.
No.
We want our manager to be great. We want our player to be great.
I want it more for the jokes than anything. But
well, not finding out is what leads to the jokes, because then you can make the jokes and try and figure it out what he would say.
That's true.
All right, what else we got on the text line?
All right, we also have people checking in on that Phillies lineup conversation that we were having earlier. These are the type of people on your side for saying the Phillies are underperforming. Mike checks in and says, they're not underperforming, they're declining. They need to play small ball in the playoffs, but they're not making the playoffs. Sell at the deadline.
All right. Well, see, don't put me in the same boat.
Those
as
are your
that
people.
person. No, they're not.
You're in the same boat.
So here's
No, we aren't. We're none of us saying that.
Here's
big boat.
Here's my problem with the Phillies lineup and why I can't sit here comfortably saying that they are a top 6 lineup. So we went through this exercise. I think it was last week. I think you were still with us. I think you were friends with us again, Connor.
Yeah, he had finally found our number again.
Yeah. The player OPSs. Were you here for this?
Yeah. I was here.
So the league average for OPS is 712. All right? And that's the number that people look at as gospel these days. Schwarber is well above league average at 912. Turner is well above league average at 831. So there's 2. Harper is above average. He's unfortunately not playing right now. But I will ask you, regardless of OPS, has Bryce Harper been Bryce Harper?
No.
No,
He has
definitely
absolutely not been.
And the wrist injury is a legitimate concern. And the lack of home run power from Bryce Harper is a concern because if Harper is not driving the ball, which we saw at the tail end of 2022 when he was not driving the ball, that's when the team started backing their way into the playoffs. The hanging curveball by Miles Michaelis then turned everything around. And what happened? They went to the World Series. And when he stopped,
we knew he was injured. We knew he was injured. We just didn't know how injured he was. And he's injured again.
Nick Castellanos is fourth on this list. He hit his 7th home run the other night. Alec Boehm is now above league average due to this recent hot streak. Believe it or not, Brandon Marsh is above league average. But I'll ask you, is Brandon Marsh?
No.
Exactly. I don't even have to ask the question.
No.
And Max Kepler recently climbed above league average at 719. He was below it just last week. After that, Real Muto is not even close.
Right.
League average is 712. He's at 678.
But God, he has been.
Yeah,
he's been better.
He's looking like he's coming out of the coma.
Bryson Stott, league average 712. He's down to 620. The platoon guys to Marsh and Kepler. Rojas is 589. Wilson is 587.
Okay.
So you have a major fall off. It's not that there are guys hovering around league average. There's guys that aren't even close. And that's your back half of your order. Now, again, OPS, I don't live and die by it because Alec Boehm is above league average OPS, but he's a singles hitter. Like, that's your middle of the order. You have no pop from the middle of your order. So it depends on how you look at it.
It does.
And I would like to have more pop from my lineup because I think pop wins.
Wanting more
I don't know
doesn't mean what you have
I don't know
isn't
the
good.
last team that won the World Series that hit singles all game.
Yeah, I just don't see it.
The Diamondbacks back in early 2000s, maybe. I don't know.
A long time ago.
God knows.
Long time ago. Baseball is different these days. All right, it's time now for the Kincade Salciunas Key 3 best minutes from today's show.
Now, the Kincade Salciunas Key 3, today's best.
So yesterday, obviously, the big story comes before the game itself when we found out that Nick Castellanos was not in the lineup because Rob Thompson made the decision to bench him after what is being considered comments that crossed the line. So Nick Castellanos talked about it a little bit yesterday. He did not tell anybody exactly what was said, but he said that he said something when he was pulled for defensive purposes for Johan Rojas the other day. He spoke his mind, and Rob Thompson believed that he crossed the line. Nick Castellanos says, quote, "It's his decision. He's the manager."
First off, Rob Thompson has every right to discipline a player if he feels that he was disrespected publicly in front of his team. So that's the bottom line. And I just want to start any conversation we have today right at that being the centerpiece, because there will be people who will spin it in any one direction. Overall, I think that opinion might be the one that trumps all others. Rob Thompson has the power to do what he did last night, and if he felt it was that important, he's got the ability to do that and the right to do it. I wonder, in my mind, whether that's the card you play at that time, and I'm going to call that into question in a variety of ways. But there's no question. If he feels he was disrespected publicly in front of his team, he has every right to do it. So there's no discussion of that.
Right.
And anyone who argues that, I think, is out of line.
Yeah,
even me, who is going to be very critical of Rob Thompson in a variety of ways about this, I can't be critical of that.
You know, obviously, like the free Castellanos was hilarious. The guy that screams that in the ballpark.
And by the way,
yesterday.
it echoed twice when they did it.
There's 18 people there.
It was hilarious. And by the way, you heard Tom and Clucker laugh.
Yeah, they brought it up.
They laughed.
Yeah, they laughed. But the other thing that I saw was like, oh, Topper's soft. We don't know what was said. I don't understand how this is all of a sudden Rob Thompson soft. From ESPN, Adam Schefter joins us. Shefty, good morning.
Now, if you're a player on the street right now, there's probably a pretty good reason for it. So, I know that we all will get, worked up when Von Miller signs or Keenan Allen signs. But they've been out there for a long time. And if they're out there this long, either their price was too high or their skills have dropped off or some combination of the both. And so while they're big names, I don't know how much of an impact anybody at this time of year is going to make.
You think it could have been handled differently. I don't.
Okay.
And the reason why is because of this streak. What was it, 236 games?
Uh-huh.
If Nick Castellanos just didn't play yesterday, everybody would be trying to figure out why. And if it's not injury, and clearly at this point it's not just, we thought it would be best for him to have a day off, right? Because
in Miami in front of his family with all of his 38 tickets or something.
Right. So I think we would all start wondering, all right, why is he not playing today? There must be something to it. And so Rob Thompson just gets ahead of it, says, hey, I like Nick. Sometimes he's emotional. That's one of the things I love about him. We played the clip earlier on, and I'll leave it at that. The fact that I think he got in front of it is probably the best thing he could have done.
No, what I would just say is it doesn't have to lead to a suspension. It doesn't have to lead to a benching. I've seen it firsthand myself, and I've seen it from a distance in sports. It doesn't have to lead to a benching.
That's in no way our call to make from where we're at. That's the manager's call.
We don't know what was said.
I live with that. He can do whatever he wants. I made that point right off the bat.
So what's the beef?
Because I have seen firsthand coaches, Hall of Fame managers that have chosen to go, okay, I'll take some abuse and I'll give a little abuse back, and we'll move on, and it's not going to lead to a benching.
How do we know this wasn't the third time?
And it could have been. Absolutely could have been.
You've done the 3 strikes rule with Liv, I imagine.
Could have been.
That's strike 2.
Yeah.
Right?
Could have been. Now we're getting into mythology that we don't know.
But you're doing the mythology of I've seen this happen before.
No, that's not mythology. That's fact.
Okay, but the way Rob Thompson acts isn't the same way Bobby Cox acts.
No, but what I'm giving to you is I'm giving you fact. What I'm giving is
based off of a person that's different than who Rob Thompson is.
No, I understand. And Rob Thompson has the right. I'm not arguing that. He's got the right to do it. I don't think you have to exercise the right.
All right, that's a Kincade Salciunas key 3 best minutes from today's show. I just tried holding up a sign for our YouTube feed, but the lighting and the camera, it
didn't work. They couldn't read it.
This message was to Dawood, who calls my balls and strikes when I throw the paper.
Well,
the message is, you suck, Blue.
You struck him out today.
Hey, dude, come on.
That's a strikeout today.
I think,
there you go. That was inappropriate what you just said.
I think of the 6 pieces of paper I threw, I think 5 were strikes.
You're benched.
I hit the camera 3 times. He had me walking him full count.
Are you really going to run it up like this? What are you going to say next? Our ass is in the jackpot now? Yeah. Come on, you're tossed. Get out of here.
Well, now that I'm tossed, I'm going to get mine. All right, since when did you see a guy get tossed and go, all right, you're right, bye? No, you keep going. That's when they start doing the face-to-face and they start spitting at each other.
You don't see it anymore much. And then every once in a while, somebody will nudge Rob and go, by the way, one of your players is arguing.
He got ejected a couple weeks ago.
He did that nice? Yeah, somebody, after being called, because they were like, when JT was arguing with the ump, they would have been good to go out. They're like, come on. Hey, support life-saving cancer research. Join our friends Window Nation. Make a donation to the AACR, the American Association for Cancer Research. You can do it at 975thefanatic.com/AACR, because cancer research saves lives.
Hell yeah.
Mike and Amy.
That's right. Coming your way next with Ray and a puppy dog.
Don't forget, what? We love puppies.
Sheba's here.
I was talking about Ray.